Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Timothy Lamar Cato III, and this is yet another episode of I Got More to Say. And today, I am joined by a man who needs no introduction. Born and bred right here in the great city of Rochester. Big shout out to everybody from the 585.
Yes, sir.
A multiple, according to previous conversation, 15-time at least DJ and champion, international. My man, also known as International Ease, DJ Ease. What's going on?
That was a dope intro, bro. All right, I'm gonna have to use that too.
I got
What up, world? DJ Ease, born and raised, 19th Ward.
Yes, sir.
Normandy. Went to high school in Henrietta. Graduated from Rush Henrietta.
Shout out Rush Henrietta.
Shout out to Rush Henrietta. Spent my adulthood in Brooklyn, New York, in Berlin, Germany, and made my way across to Las Vegas. San Diego and Los Angeles, and now I'm back here.
Man,
you know, so.
DJ Ease, first off, thank you so much for coming on. I Got More to Say. I Got More to Say as a platform for knowledge to be shared, people to be reached, and voices to be heard regarding the world of black culture and black media.
Absolutely.
And black music also as well. And DJ Ease, I can't think of a more, underrated profession for, I feel like, black people in media / music than the DJ.
Right.
And you are someone who has grinded for, I don't want to date you, but for at least 2 decades, relentless grind as far as being a DJ, a disc jockey for those of you who don't know. DJ Ease, but before we even get into that, I definitely just want to tell you thank you. And, definitely big salute to you and your career and all the inspiration and just all the give back that you give to Rochester.
We greatly appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate you let me use your platform.
Nah, for sure, DJ Ease, and thank you for coming on. But DJ Ease, let's start from the beginning really fast, just in case there's some people who've been sleeping under a rock and don't know who you are. DJ Ease, talk to us about what it was like growing up, as you said, 19th Ward of Rochester. What was it like growing up here in Rochester? How did the city shape you for the music career that you've had?
Well, as far as music goes, I know the 90s in Rochester, there was a lot of music coming from everywhere. First of all, obviously we're a jazz town, so we had a lot of festivals. We also had a festival called The Main Event that went on in the 90s that they took over Main Street, and they would have a basketball tournament. They would have music, live music. They'll have a lot of local talent performing as well, rappers, singers, and everything.
Certainly.
And a lot of people don't also know that, like, in the 90s, a lot of talent shows went on with stars like Devontae of Jodeci lived here. You know what I'm saying? He had a recording studio. He had Missy Elliott here. He had Genuine, a lot of talent. So there was always something musically going on in the 90s. But the part that influenced me the most were my uncles who were DJs. You know what I'm saying? So I would honestly hear their mixtapes everywhere. And my mom, my sisters, everybody circulated their music. So that kind of influenced me. What really influenced me was seeing the equipment, like seeing them pull out the equipment, seeing how it worked, and like knowing, like, at a young age, this is what I want to do.
Nah, for sure. What was the first piece of equipment you saw?
The turntable. The turntable. Something about the turntable fascinates me till this day when I see that turntable, especially the 1200. Like when you see that invention, just like how it's shaped, how it's able to manipulate the sounds with the mixer and everything. Like, it's just crazy to me. And that goes back, obviously, to Grandmaster Flash and other DJs before me that made that possible. You know, Theodore and those guys. But yeah, seeing the turntable definitely influenced me.
Nah, definitely. That's, as I said before, maybe the most important, technology, piece of technology in, really music in general, but especially hip hop.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it started off on. DJ E, so as you said before, you were a young kid and you saw your uncles and, your family members and people around with these turntables. 1200s are extremely expensive, especially for how old were you, like 10, 12?
Yeah. I didn't have 1200s for a long time.
You see what I'm saying?
So my uncle just told me that my dad was very influential in him getting 1200s, it wasn't 1200. It was definitely a Techniques turntable, but getting him that turntable, and that turntable eventually passed on to me accidentally. I ended up with that turntable. But before that, my mom bought me. If anybody remembers the Source magazine, the back of the magazine used to sell these DJs in a box kits where you can buy like an all-in-one box of 2 turntables and a mixer and headphones.
Wow.
And it was like $300, $250. But the turntables were horrible. Like they say you can scratch. They'll call them the scratch pad, the scratch pack, volume 1. But scratching with it was like almost impossible. So I went from that setup, and then I started buying more used stuff, going to like Daddy's Junkie Music and Record Archive and the House of Guitars, and digging for equipment. So.
Yeah. So when did you officially have like your first like quote unquote decent setup? How old were you after all that?
A decent setup, yeah. I would say maybe. So the first few years when I got into turntablism, I was borrowing equipment from my friends a lot, because they're the one who got me. Like, okay, so people gotta understand there's the DJ aspect where my uncles and everybody around town were playing music for parties and barbecues and stuff.
Sure.
There was a point when my mom moved me to Henrietta, I started hanging with skateboarders, and they were like into like stuff that the normal black kid wasn't looking at. Like, we'll be at their house and they'll have like a DJ battle on in the background with like turntablist stuff going on, like scratching, mixing, juggling, battles, like real battles. I'm like, what is this? They were like, oh, that's DJ A-Track, that's DJ so-and-so. And they'll have the turntable at the crib and they're like, they'll be showing scratching. So I wasn't really focused on scratching until I saw that. So later on, fast forward on, after borrowing equipment from them like for a year, and already had equipment, but not equipment I can get busy on. But like a year and a half later, I started saving up my money and then buying stuff. So maybe 2 years in, which we were talking about my boy DJ INF earlier.
Yeah, shout out DJ INF.
INF worked at Guitar Center. So Guitar Center this is in 2002, 2003.
I was 4 years old.
Yeah, you were young.
I was a baby.
But if you were alive back then, there was this thing where turntables were outselling guitars. Like, it was DJing, turntablism was so huge at this time. Like, the Battle World was a big deal. So when I went to Guitar Center, INF was there, and he put all the turntables out so you can mess around with them. So every day after high school, I'll go up there and just be like, man, I want this turntable so bad. I want this. I can't afford it. These are like $300, $400, $500 and up. So I'll start saving up money and then buying equipment piece by piece. So maybe my first solid equipment came probably like 2003, like maybe 3 years after starting turntablism. So, it took me 3 years.
So what is it? Starting turntablism, how old were you? Just for that.
2000, so this is in 2000 I started it. I started messing with DJing in 96. Okay. But I got serious about equipment in 2000. So my first competition was in 2001. And in 2002, I won my first comp. Okay. But yeah, so I would say 2002 is when I was like, I'm serious about it.
So you was about 15?
Yeah. Nah.
Younger?
Probably a little older, maybe 16.
16. Yeah, okay, so you was about 16 when you had your first official set.
Yeah,
your first decent set.
Maybe 17. Yeah, 16, 17.
And then you said around that time too, you won your first competition.
Right.
Now, Ease, you mentioned something. I had asked you about this before off air, but you said turntablism. What's the difference between, just for the listeners, so we can make sure we move forward? What's the difference between turntablism or being a turntablist and being a DJ?
Okay. Shout out to my boy DJ Babu, who was one of the founders of the is the founder of the word turntablism.
Okay. Shout out to him.
Yeah, sure. He's from the West Coast, Los Angeles. Okay. Very good dude. But shout out to my boy Bobby, aka Killer B, DJ Killer B here, who mentioned this other day. He was saying the turntablists could pretty much do anything, meaning we could rock a party, more than likely, but we can also scratch, juggle, do tricks and stuff like that. Okay. And a regular DJ can't do both. So once you're a turntablist, it's basically being a guitar player that can do everything. Like, you're not just like standard in the studio. You can go and you can perform. You can put the guitar behind your head. You can do all of that. You can play any note. You can hear it. You hear it. You know what I'm saying? That's what a turntablist is, a musician outside of being a selector. And I feel like a DJ is more connected to the selector part, which you're playing a record and you know how to play the next song and stuff like that. Where a turntablist could manipulate sounds. Like, they can scratch the sound. They can do stuff with it. You know?
Understandable. Thank you for breaking that down, because when you said, turntablist, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, is that not the same as a DJ? But I had to have the presence of mind to know, he's saying that for a specific reason.
Yeah, my boy Bobby pointed it out. He was like, yo, turntablists could pretty much do everything, you know?
And you're a turntablist.
I'm a turntablist, yeah.
For sure.
So I became a turntablist first.
Then a DJ.
Well, I was a DJ, but I'm talking about like I perfected turntablism first, meaning I learned all the tricks and how to scratch and all that stuff, and I knew how to party rock as well. So, yeah, you can't be a DJ. Can't be a regular DJ. I don't feel like can be a turntablist. A turntablist could be a DJ and a turntablist. It's like one of those things.
So it's levels.
It's levels.
Turntablist reigns supreme.
Yes.
Overall, gotcha.
That's how I looked at it.
Now, East. So 17 or 16, 17 years old, that's when you really started to perfect being a turntablist. That's when you really dug into your craft. You was like, okay, this is what I want to do. So a year after that, you were, I would say it was like your first, I don't know if it was your first big gig, but you got an international gig over in Tokyo with a rock band. Yeah. Can you talk to us about how it was going from Rochester and just being, a young man from, who just graduated high school to being 18 years old? Everybody's talking about going to college or working, and you're overseas in Japan with a rock group as their like tour DJ, so to speak, or I don't know if you were a tour DJ, but as their set DJ. What was that like, getting that amount of instant coffee?
All right, so leading up to that, my junior year and senior year of high school, I was traveling to New York City. Okay. Like almost every other week. I was going to New York City. I was entering competitions. Because I felt like I hit the ceiling in Rochester with the battle stuff. But there was a battle going on in New York City every week. Like there was a Tribeca Film Festival had a DJ battle. Like everybody's throwing DJ battle. So I was going to New York City. So by the time it's time for me to graduate, I already knew I was planning to move to New York City. So the day after I got my diploma, I moved.
Wow.
The day after, I was going out. The truck was packed up. I was out.
Really?
Yeah.
And what part of New York City did you move to?
I moved to Brooklyn, New York.
Shout out to all my peoples in Brooklyn.
Okay. Shout out to Brooklyn. I always end up with Brooklyn people. So I say this because...
They're great people.
But even in high school, like my best friend in high school, Arlie, is from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like he moved to Rochester from Brooklyn. So, and then I moved to New York. I ended up DJing for Alpha Ra, who's from Brooklyn. I ended up DJing for Young May, who's from Brooklyn. So I always end up with Brooklyn people. But to answer your question... which was
the experience going from, man, like 16, I'm digging in, 18, I'm on stage.
Yeah, so 18, 19, I'm going down to New York City. I move to New York City, and then I get to New York City and I start handing out my mixtapes like crazy. And I start annoying people.
So like, you were a mixtape DJ?
Yeah, because I was influenced by my uncles doing that stuff. My uncle was hustling mixtapes, and he showed me how to make mixtapes. So when I went down to New York City, I met my boy from Queens. Shout out to AT. AT back in the day was the plug, like for CD covers. Cause my man, he don't do this no more, but I can say this now. It's not snitching, cause it's not. But my man had every printer in New York City hacked. I'm talking about like FedEx, Kinko's, whatever you want to call it. He'd be like, yo, meet me here.
He had it all out.
He like, meet me at this one. Meet me at that one. And then he'll print up all my covers. Okay. So I will get my covers made, run the Fat Beats it's not opening more record store. Put my stuff at Fat Beats. Shout out to what's her name? Shout out to Amore. She was the manager at the time, but she's the reason why I got with that rock band. Because I used to come in there always with my mixtapes, always promoting myself. And the rock band's management was looking for a turntablist for the band because the turntablists they had quit. So he went into the Fat Beats, which is a record store, and he was like, yo, you guys know any turntablists that'll be interested in doing that? He's like, this kid Ease is always in here. And I left my business card, I believe, with my CD, and the management team called me while I was at work. I was working at Grand Central Station at Rite Aid. Like, I was stocking shelves, fighting off rats and shit. Like, rats like this big, bro. I worked with some Africans that used to just kill rats like it was playing soccer with them shits. But anyway, excuse me. But
you can say what you want.
I remember where I was at exactly when that happened. I was breaking down boxes and my phone rang at my Nokia. This is how long ago. It was an old phone. And I was like, hello. He's like, yo, this is Brian from Brian Levin's Entertainment Management. We're looking for DJ Ease. And I was like, yeah. He's like, can you come down to the office on 55th and Broadway? So I was so broke at that time. I don't know. I think I had to borrow $2 to get up there.
What?
Because I was just like I was making
$2?
$6 an hour, bro. Yeah. I was selling comedy tickets at first. Remember the comedy ticket dudes? I was hustling comedy tickets, and then I got that job. But
at Rite Aid, Stop
at
and
Rite
Shop,
Aid, yeah, and that was $6 an hour. That was horrible money, but that's what I had to do because I just moved down there. But yeah, I went up to the station. I went to the office. I walked in the office. There's plaques everywhere. Michael Bolton. They managed.
Which office?
Nelson Levins Entertainment. That was the management for the band I was in.
Okay.
And they managed Michael Bolton. They managed the Baja Men, who let the dogs out and all that. They had a lot of groups. Yeah. And I walked in. They were like, "Yeah, we heard your demo, like your mixtape. You got another demo of you rapping or something like that?" I was like, "Actually, I do, because I used to make beats and I used to be in a group and I used to rap, like for a really short period."
Was you nice?
I think I was nice, but it's not what I wanted to do. I did it because we was in a group.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like on some Pete Rock type shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We got beats. Somebody got to rap.
Yeah. So me and my boys was rapping, whatever. So I had the demo. I gave them the demo, and what they wanted to know was if I could do mic work, because obviously the band, they have some songs where they rap and they sing. So he wanted me to do background vocals and scratch. So that happened. I had to go out to New Jersey 3 times a week to practice with them. Wow. And the next thing you know, I found out they had a hit record in Japan, and that's how I ended up going to Japan with them.
Wait, New Jersey to Brooklyn?
I used to go from. So what I would do is I worked the night shift at I worked 10 that night to 6 in the morning at Grand Central. So what I would do is go to Jersey, practice with the band at like 6 o'clock to like 8, get on a train, 2 hours back to Grand Central, go to work overnight. I did that 3 times a week.
Because you worked in Manhattan.
I worked in Manhattan, and Grand Central Station was like, I could take the transit there.
So this is 4 hours worth of commuting.
Yeah.
3 days a week.
Yep. Well, I think it was 2-hour practices.
And you had to practice from 6 in the, was it in the
6
afternoon?
to 8. 6 at night, yeah. So I would have to leave Brooklyn around like 3:30.
Yeah. And
then I'll get home at like, God knows, like the next day. And I did that for like a long time.
And what part of Brooklyn did you live in at that time?
I lived in Bay Ridge, which is deep in Brooklyn. Yeah. That train was horrible at night because the train stopped at 36th Street and you stuck there for like God knows after midnight. So.
Wait a minute, hold on, time out. You say you lived in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily know where that's at, but
Bay Ridge is near the Verrazano. Like Bay Ridge is like, okay, so say you crossing the bridge going into Manhattan, you make a right, you're gonna pass Sunset Park, and then you're like along the water.
You was deep in Brooklyn.
It's deep in Brooklyn, but it's like.
Actually, you want to know the ultimate test to know how deep you are in a borough of New York City? I'm gonna ask you this, and I think people will feel me on this one. This is just my personal. Test. Was there a White Castle by where you lived?
No, there wasn't.
There wasn't?
Yeah.
Okay. See, so my theory wasn't right.
Yeah.
I've always said this, and excuse me, not that it's not right, doesn't apply to this.
Yeah.
Any time that I've been lost or been deep in a borough,
yeah,
I've always been by a White Castle.
White Castle.
I don't care what nobody
White Castle
says.
actually means you're in a bad area. But also, okay, there's 2 things to know you're in a bad area. You see a White Castle, and then the street names start being named after like Martin Luther King.
Black people.
Like famous
Malcolm
black people. Yeah, you in the hood.
Yeah.
Period.
Well, not because I always said that. Anytime I've been lost in New York City, anytime I've been deep in a borough, I've always been by a White Castle.
Right.
So, but I don't even want to get into my own personal
I love New York City. Shout out to New York City. I became a man in New York City, like meaning like all my teenage years, my kid years, I was in Rochester, and I learned a lot in the city. But I moved to New York.
Yeah.
New York City,
Gladiator school.
It's a different move. It's a different type of way of moving. It's a different type of person you gotta be to live out there.
Yeah.
And they understood me, but they also made fun of me and shit because obviously I'm from upstate.
Yep.
But they don't even consider Rochester upstate. It's like, but they was like, yo, you know what the first thing they said to me? I was working in Manhattan. It was like, yo, why you talk like 50 Cent?
Wait, what?
Because you know 50 is from New York, but 50 sounds Southern.
Yeah.
When he talk,
and 50 really sounds Southern after he got the bullet to the mouth.
But his grandparents is from the South. That's why he talk like that. And that's my mom's family, obviously my grandmother and all that from the South as well.
What part?
From Florida, Sanford, Florida.
Sanford?
My dad's from Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's
my
real.
Family, we spread out throughout the South, but primarily Georgia and South Carolina.
Yeah, so it's real like Dirt road.
Yeah, you got some Geechee blood in you. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but,
sure. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but New York City, I learned a lot. As far as being a DJ, I met so many important pieces. Like, I know so many DJs right now, and it's a blessing because they're all like great people, and they were young. We were both young, and we had to experience like being a young buck and learning a different way because the old heads didn't really respect all of us. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Fat Fingers. That was my guy. Fat Fingers are heavy hitters.
Shout out to him.
That was my guy. I rolled around with Fat Fingers, DJ Rolly Roll. Shout out to Rolly. Shout out to DJ Color TV. Shout out to I just talked to him this morning. My boy DJ Flawless. Flawless is viral right now too for his beat juggles and stuff. Like Pete Rock posting them and stuff. But I came up around those dudes and those guys. New York City do not let you fail, man. They'll tell you messing up. You know what I'm saying? And that's the part that pushes you to not fail.
For sure.
So a lot of those homies will be like, yo, you need to step your game up. They'll tell you straight up. And you can say that. I say that to a homie out here and they get mad.
Yep.
You know? So
I ain't even gonna get into the Rochester politics.
No, I'm saying that. I'm saying that to say this.
I agree with you.
I'm saying that to say this. If this city gets out of their emotions, unstoppable. Because the talent in Rochester, I've been all over the world, and I always say this, I've seen some of the most talented people I've ever seen in my life here, but a lot of people get stuck in emotional situations, and I realized that when I threw the DJ link up, that a lot of DJs don't talk to each other because they think or they assuming, or this person messed with this person, so they probably talk junk about me, so I don't mess with him because he probably don't mess with me. Like, all of that politics stuff gotta die, man, because that's gossip. And gossip is a trait of old women, man, like grandmas. You know what I'm saying? So we got to cut it out. I talk to all young DJs about this. Like when there's a lot of young DJs that come to me now, and they ask me, yo, Ease, this person, and I'll be like, yo, this is what it really is. And they be like, thank you, I didn't see it that way, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And you know what, Ease, man, thank you so much for saying that because I feel the same exact way about some of the things that go on here in Rochester as far as people being in their feelings and their emotions and just the gossip. But, man, definitely shout out to you for not only speaking on that, but also, too, when people come to you, you always give people another side of the coin, and you always give people good advice in order for there to be some kind of unity within the city.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because the first thing I think of is it a business issue or is it a personal issue? And is this personal issue affecting your business? That's how you gotta look at it.
Yep.
Like when you mad at a club owner that not booking you, that's a business decision, right? So you can't be mad at him for making a business decision for a business he owns. So go find another way to make light of it. Because this city is more of, what I've learned is more city. This city, like, if they see other people respecting you other places, then they'll appreciate you
For sure.
a lot more. And that's kind of messed up. So I'm trying to shift that. Like, yo, if this person got talent, rock with them.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I'm with you on that.
California is like that. Las Vegas is like that. A lot of West Coast cities are like that. There's just cliques. People are cliquey. They get together and they don't let anybody in. But at the same time, I've been put in the cliques where they didn't know me from nothing, but they're like, this dude talented. He's a nice dude. We just had a conversation with him. He's not weird. Yo, you want to be down with us? It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Nah, definitely got you. Boy, Ease, thank you for that. Another thing I wanted to, just because I want to make sure we focus on your story.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So, Ease, you, what is it? I think you said around 04 you had your first like.
Yeah, I went to Japan. I forgot. I don't know if I answered that fully.
Did I? You pretty much did.
All right, cool.
How you got clicked up with them, and then you went to Japan.
Yeah.
So Ease, you grinding all throughout the 2000s. So So after you came back from Japan, you was back in New York and you was still working.
Yeah, and back when I got back to Japan, I was back at Rite Aid, and I was bagging groceries, and that was a reality check. But that was also like I gotta put my foot on the gas, because I just got done. When I was in Japan with superstars. Like I wasn't in Japan with like regular schmegler. I was actually around everybody that influenced me at one time, because we did 2 festivals, right? One of the festivals was headlined by Nas, Pharrell. Jurassic 5 was there. I'm a fan of Jurassic 5. Sure. I was hanging out with Charlie Tuna. I'm a fan of Cut Chemist as a DJ. I'm a fan of New Mark as a DJ. I'm a fan of A Tribe Called Quest. I'm a fan of like And there was rock bands that I was a fan of that was in that festival too.
Your hip hop knowledge and your taste is very astute.
Right, I'm a DJ, so I listen to all these people, and then next thing you know, I'm not in the outside looking in, I'm in the inside looking out. I'm on like golf carts going to the stage with these guys. I'm in a golf cart with Nas, like I'm in a golf cart with Khalees. You know what I'm saying? When he was with Khalees, like we were. And I'm like, yo, this is it. This is, and then I get back in reality, I'm ringing out groceries. And I'm like, all right, cool. It was like, all right, I got a lot more work to do. But Pharrell told me I was dope. So.
Speaking of that, you have a photo with Pharrell on your Instagram. Yeah. And I remember you spoke about how you met him in Japan and about how y'all was kicking it. And Pharrell told you was dope. And
Shay told me I was dope too. Shay of NERD, yeah.
Oh, Shay, excuse me. Yes, Shay from NERD. So, I mean, I don't like to, I try not to make it come off like I'm pine riding, but I'm a fan of Pharrell. Like,
everybody should be.
Yeah, Pharrell's a huge inspiration to me.
Yeah.
And at the age, somewhere in your 20s, you got told you were dope by Pharrell Williams. And then, but you said something. You said that you've always, I forgot the exact quote. I'm sorry. I want to make sure I quote you the proper way.
That's cool.
But you said something. You said that you doubt yourself to push yourself.
Yeah.
So when Pharrell told you that, you in your mind, you like, man, like I still got work to do. Yeah. So how was it hearing that you're dope from, I mean, at this point, I think Pharrell was probably charging $300,000 a beat, working with everybody.
It was the height. It was the front. Yeah. It was like right after the. It was crazy. It was a couple years maybe after.
Grinding, right?
It was around that era, but it was also because I was at work. I remember being at work in a night shift and hearing Frontin' on the radio. This single, and I remember when the Star Trek album dropped. It was the #1 album in the country.
Yep.
And it was during that era. It was like NERD was touring. Pharrell had hits. I think at that time he controlled the radio at that time. He had a lot of hits on the radio at one time.
Britney Spears.
Yeah, he had the
Clips.
Justin Timberlake album. He had a bunch of stuff going on.
Pharrell was on top.
He was on top, but he was also very available. Like he didn't have to talk to me
at all.
Yeah. So.
But he did.
He did. And
how was it hearing from, like I said, one of maybe the hottest producer at the time, one of the most creative and genius minds that we've ever seen in hip hop? How was it at the time hearing that you were dope and you hadn't even began to even scratch the surface of your potential? How was it like that?
It wasn't satisfying. It was like more validating. Then it was like, okay, I'm good, I made it. It wasn't like I made it moment. It was like I got a lot more work to do to get where these guys are because, but the part that really was the humbling experience is when I got back and the band broke up. Cause I'm like, what am I supposed to do now? I've been with this band, they had a record deal. I thought this was like my way in. We're gonna make more hit records and they broke up. But the best thing that could have possibly happened to me happened after that. Because at the end of the day, I was in a rock band that was already established. They already put the groundwork in. They were touring the world before I even met me. But I'm a hip hop DJ first, right, at that time. And I grew up listening to Chris G. And
shout out Chris G.
Shout out Chris G. I grew up listening to Chris G, and Chris G straight from the underground. So he had a lot of artists that I was fans of, especially if you work with DJ Premier. And back to my boy AT. My boy AT that print out my covers. You probably already know this story, but the band broke up. And about a week later, when the band broke up, I was so mad I cried. Because I remember the day how it happened. So one of the band members was scared to tell me that they broke up. So I remember going to practice. Like, remember how I used to go way the hell out there to practice? And the turntables were broken. And they're in a case. Somebody snapped the turn arm. I'm like, what's going on? Oh, we don't know what happened. Like, I'm like, it's weird, so I can't practice. You know what I'm saying? So I go back, we got a show. I'm walking down the subway to get on the train to go to Jersey to do the show with them. And then I get a call like, yo, you shouldn't come out to this one. And then next thing you know, the band doesn't know what they want to do, and then they broke up. And I was really, really hurt. I was mad, bro. I was like, dang. But a week later, I'm printing up more CDs, my new mixtape.
And you're still in New York at the time.
I'm still in Brooklyn. And my new mixtape I put out, it's called Eavesdrop. It was Eavesdrop Volume 1.
That's fire.
It was the first one, Eavesdrop Volume 1.
I like how you Eavesdrop. That's fire. Shout out, dude.
It was Eavesdrop Volume 1. One of my best mixtapes ever. Like the scratch intro is crazy. I don't even know. It's all vinyl, and I just remember I blacked out on this mixtape, and I just like put my all into it, and I did a lot of live blends, and it was like it was a real raw street underground hip hop on there. You know what I'm saying? So this couldn't have been a better situation for me. I go to the Kinko's. You ever see Dave Chappelle? You watch Dave Chappelle show?
Yes, I have.
Do you ever see the Pop Copy episode?
No, I have not.
So if you watch the Pop Copy episode, it's basically making fun of Kinko's, how nobody at Kinko's knows what the hell they're doing.
Facts. Okay. Got
Like this is a skit. The same place they filmed this skit is the same place I'm talking about right now where I was at printing up my mixtape.
Okay.
Like Dave Chappelle literally rented it out and changed everything around.
Okay.
Filmed it there. It's not there anymore, but this is on 27th and 7th in Manhattan. And we're printing up my mixtape covers, and a brother come over to me with locks. And he's like, yo, man, do you know how to print this? And I just grabbed a mixtape from him, and I look up, and I'm like, yo, you're Afu Ra. I listen to your music, bro. I like have your vinyls. He's like, yeah, I'm Afu. I was like, I'm a DJ. Yeah, I'll help you with this. I don't work here, but because nobody that worked there knew anything, but we knew everything for some reason.
Just because Afu Ra might not necessarily, can you kind of explain who he is?
Afu Ra was one of the artists at D&D Studios that came up under DJ Premier.
Okay.
So Afu worked with, he's on J. Rue the Damager's first album, Sunrises in the East. That's his premiere, like Poisonous Tail is like all that stuff. He came up with them guys in like 93, 94. He was on tour with the whole Gangstar Foundation. He's a part of the Gangstar Foundation.
Certainly.
So that alone was like, all right, you work with the real ones, you know what I'm saying? So when I met him, I was like, yo, this is my mixtape. He's like, cool. All right. He was like, yo, you a good DJ? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right. He's like, he's like, I gotta go to Switzerland and do a show. I'm gonna listen to your mixtape. If it's dope, I'll have you DJ for me. I was like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Like, perfect. And mind you, God will close one door, open another one for you. You know what I'm saying? But this is like what I really want to do. So Afu leaves, comes back, calls me. I had a VHS tape of me on stage in Japan with the group, the band. So Afu comes to Brooklyn, comes to my house. He had a cowboy hat on and Afu was my dude. He came through with some shorty. He has locks and a cowboy hat and some boots. And he walked in my crib. I put the tape on. I was like, yeah, I got my passport. This is me with my rock band. He's like, yeah, cool. He's like, all right. He's like, I don't need to see all that. He's like, yo, we're going on tour next month for like 2 months. I was like, dang. He's like, yeah.
What year was this?
This is summer 2005.
Okay.
It was hot out that day he came to my crib. He was like, yeah. He was like, we're going on tour with Inspector Deck and playing Asia. This is a Something to Prove tour. That's what it's called, Something to Prove tour. First show was in Brooklyn. Show was dope. And then we did the second show was in Buffalo. So a lot of people got to see me rock that from the whole town. So that was dope. And then we did Toronto. And that was the first tour. But that tour rolled into another tour. I was on tour with Afu for like 4 years.
Damn.
I quit my job. I remember the day I quit my job. Because I was still working when he wasn't touring.
Yeah, he was still working.
And it was like...
Your job let you go on break for like months at a time?
I was do a week and then I'll come back and do a couple days. And then they got tired of me. I'll never forget what they said to me. I said, yo, this is not my life. Like, music is my life. And the manager said, no, Rite Aid is your life. I was like, what?
Hope he sees this. How you feel now?
I was like, what? I was like, I'm not coming back. And I never went back.
Yeah.
But I did have another job after that. I did get another day job. When we wasn't touring, I had to get a job. And then, so I don't want to mess up any more questions you got, but I can further that into, I toured with Afu for 4 years. The best 4 years. I learned how to, Afu managed himself, so I learned how to manage myself. I learned how to collect my back end by myself. I learned how to promote myself. We went all over the world.
Can you explain what a back end is real quick?
Back end is like, so when you book yourself as an artist, you always want to ask for a deposit just to make sure you make some, if you agree on a date, like say I agree on June 5th, this is my price. I need at least 50% up front, and you give me the rest of the day of the show. So collecting the second half of your money is the back end. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the second half of your.
The listeners understand.
Yeah. So.
So SHAQFU managed yourself. You learn how to.
He was collecting all his own back end.
Yeah.
He was handing me my money. He was giving me my per diem. Per diem is when your food money for the day. He made sure I had everything. Was I making a lot of money? No, but I was with an underground artist and I was doing what I loved and I was making, and that whole time I was on the road with him, I made so many relationships. Like, cause every city we went to, the DJs from that city was running the shows. So I made relationships with every city. And so after SHAQFU was done, I was hitting up the homies and they was bringing me out to the cities. You know, so, and that still to this day happens. Like the show I just did in Switzerland with DJ Paul, that was my homies from SHAQFU from 2000.
Shout out DJ Paul.
DJ Paul. The show we did in Switzerland was from, I connected that from a show I did with SHAQFU in 2005. The same people.
So it's just making good connections and just
relationships are everything, bro. Relationships are everything. I have not signed a contract in my life when it comes to management and anything like that. I've been down with an agency before, but I still never signed a contract with that. It was all handshakes. But be careful who you sign to because a lot of these contracts, man, for agencies are horrible for DJs. For
sure.
And I almost signed one of them. Well, I didn't almost sign one, but somebody was like, yo, you got to sign this or you're fired. And I sent it to an entertainment lawyer. It was like, this is horrible. They saying they want 10% of your music if you produce it. They want 10% of every gig you get, whether they get it for you or not.
360.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, so I was like, I ain't signing that shit.
He wasn't going for it.
Nah, and they still didn't fire me. So it worked out.
You called their bluff.
Yeah.
Nah, for sure. So so you said about 2005 is when you meet SHAQFU.
Yeah.
And then you said you went on tour with them for about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
I had my last day job in 2007 in Brooklyn. And then I moved to Germany. I moved to Germany. Because me and SHAQFU was in Germany a lot. So I made a lot of friendships there. I met a lot of people. And they were just like, yo, why don't you just move here, bro? You always here making money and then you leave and you got to get your stupid day job. Which my day job was dope because my last day job was like driving edible arrangement truck.
Oh, that's fire, yeah.
Nobody bothers you.
Yeah.
Everybody happy to see you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was delivering to the New York Giants. I delivered to Chris Lighty before he died, Mike Lighty, and Def Jam.
Rest in peace, Chris Lighty.
Yeah.
Violator, right?
Yeah, I slid my mixtape in there. He ain't listen to that shit. It's like a box of mixtapes in there. But I remember that was my last job. I was like, you know what? You're right. I should have just moved to Germany. Why not? And I did. It was the best decision ever. I never had a job again after that. I've been working DJing.
So talk to us about how it is going from being in the heart of, being from Rochester, then move into the heart of, you know what I'm saying, New York, being New York City, you in Brooklyn.
Right.
And then you go on tour for 4 years, and then 07, 08, 09, whatever year it was. Now, you know, you'd have been in Germany so much just from all your touring. Now, you know, you moved to Germany. What is that like? What is it like being in Europe as a black man, being out there as a hip hop turntablist / DJ? Like, what was the experience out in Germany like? And how does what was the experience? How does it vary as far as like the money situation, the bookings, everything?
So money wise, when I moved there, the euro was worth
like $4 American, right?
Was like double.
Yeah.
So when I was paying my rent back in New York City, I was just like, it was easy. But the money was different. The respect was different because I was from New York. Even though I wasn't from New York City, I was from New York
State, yeah.
New York State. So I got bookings off of that alone. Because Germans love DJ Premier. They love New York hip hop. First. In Berlin, Germany, where I was living, is a lot like New York City, where they speak multiple languages there, and they spoke English. You know, certain part of Germany, they spoke Russian and German because of the wall, you know, the war and all of that. So, and then you will get into some situations where certain cities I played in, they did have a Nazi problem. So that my hotel would be 2 hours away from my venue, you know what I'm saying? Like, there was that. But the love, the respect that I got out there was unmatched, man. Like, I was able to transition very easily, like moving there. One of my best stories I tell about that was, when I used to take the R train from Brooklyn to Manhattan for my job, there was a guy playing a guitar every day on there. This is a dude with locks, another brother with locks. But he's on there playing guitar every day. I heard, for some reason, my way to Manhattan, my shift, he was always on the train. This is for like 3 years. I get to Berlin. I'm on the S-Bahn train, which is like the train in New York City. I hear the same guitar. I'm like, it sounds like the dude that be on And I walked up to him, I was like, yo, don't you be on the train in Brooklyn? He's like, yeah, I just moved to Berlin. I'm like, yo.
No way.
Yeah, that let me know how small this world is, bro. The world is like open, like this is crazy. But moving to Berlin, I never had an issue with getting bookings. Everybody was cool. The DJs were cool with me. One hand washed the other. I met my homie DJ SK, world champion today. He got me bookings, and then I got him bookings in America. His first time in America. He came, stayed here. He looked out for me out there. My boy DJ Lito Bolton, who's an African brother that's also German now, lives in Berlin. He's running shit out there. He every time I come there, touch down, he's there. Whenever I get to Berlin, my boys Marcus and everybody, they get together, meet me at the hotel. It's like I got a whole crew. You know what I'm saying? Like I show up and they walk me we walk to the venue from the hotel. They take care of me. I brought my boy, my camera guy from Buffalo, videographer, Zach Warren. I brought Zach out to film the whole European tour I had right before COVID. And he got to Berlin and he got hammered like early. And he didn't get to film the whole night. And I could have been mad about it, but I was like, this is his first time in Berlin. My boys are so cool. I didn't know he was gone. They came back to the booth like, yo, we took your camera guy back to the hotel. We go. Like, that's how they treated me, bro. They like brothers, you know what I'm saying?
It was really good to you.
Yeah, it's a lot of Army kids out there, like half American, half German kids, because a lot of military out there, a lot of American military is in Germany. But most importantly, the music in Germany is dope. I love what's going on out there. And I heard Afro beats out there first, you know, Afro beat, like, and I'm talking like 10, 12 years ago, they was playing that shit. So.
I'm glad you mentioned that because so many people think that Afro beat started with Burna Boy. No. So many people who are so uneducated, because I've tried to get people, when I be talking to people, and mind you, I'm not, you know, born and bred in Africa, I'm African American, but I'm African. I try to get people to realize that Fela Kuti was out there. He had West Africa turned up in like the 80s.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that you said that, because everybody tries to make it seem like Drake came and did one dance and then Burna Boy came out and then now,
That stuff was hot like 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Like probably even before that. And my boy Lito that I was talking about was playing Afrobeat like way before. And I did a gig in Africa in Johannesburg. Like 2000, what was it? It was 2019, 2018, maybe 2018. I played Johannesburg, but they booked me. Some Nigerian dudes booked me, and because Nigerians like are all over South Africa, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Especially in Johannesburg, but they got a lot of money. And this dude was like, "Yeah, come play an hour. DJ E's play an hour. We give you $1,000. You play an hour." Like, I'm like, "Play what?" They was like, "Just play hip hop." I'm like, "All right, cool." So I played like the opening slot from like 9 to 10. Bro, I played all the hip hop bangers. Everybody was cool, chilling, walking in, like it was cool vibes. I get off, the next DJ gets on, straight Afrobeat DJing, no words. Afrobeat with no words.
Sheesh.
Killing it.
Yeah.
Everybody going crazy, losing it. Like, and that's when I was like, yo, this shift is about to happen in the world.
So you've seen this years before.
I've seen it years before, and this is Afrobeat with no vocals. Like, this is vocalist, like no songs. It's like straight beats. And the people knew the beats, and they all sound like one beat. But yeah, it's just different, man. The world is just different with that stuff.
So how long did you stay out in Germany for? About 4 years?
I was in Germany from 2007 to 2011.
Now, we spoke about this. Now, I know you said...
2010, actually.
Now, I know you said that, you know, coming back from Germany, you know, like towards the end it started off great and then it got rough. Can you tell the story of what happened, you know, pretty much like your last, like, few months in Germany that eventually led to you coming back here to America? Yeah,
I'll talk about that.
If you don't
mind. Also, yeah, it's cool. But it's also, like, part I got to point out, Obama became president while I was out there. So... I wasn't in America when that happened, but I remember Obama came to Berlin and talked, and it was 110,000 people like, outside. Like
110?
Yeah, it was like over 100,000 people outside for him to talk. Bro.
For those of y'all who don't understand how crazy it is to have 110,000 people to be speaking of in front of that, the Super Bowl, I think on average, the last couple of years has been like 75,000, if that. So
in the streets.
Yeah, 110.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
But that was one of the moments I could say as a black man, because I was asleep. Mind you, there's a 6-hour time difference from New York, from when he was So my homie Lito called me. Well, Lito lived in Berlin at the time too. Lito called me. It's like midnight, and I guess he became president at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon or something like. They announced everything like in America that time, but it was midnight. I was asleep. This nigga wake me up. That nigga did it, yo, yo. Congrats, bro. Yo, fucking Obama did that shit. I'm like, what? He's like, turn the fucking TV on, and I'm like half asleep, turn the TV on, and it's like. And I just remember crying like, yo, that's crazy. You know, this is really happening, you know?
That somebody who looks like me can be one of the 2 or 3 most powerful people in the world.
There's that. And also when I was living in Germany, the president was a woman. So I already I learned, like, when I was in Germany, I learned how much BS we deal with here and how much I want to say I want to say our government doesn't try to make things right for a lot of things. And when I say that, I mean, like, in Germany, they went through what they went through with Hitler and Holocaust and all that stuff, right? Yeah. And you're not even allowed to, like, to even joke about that stuff out there, bro. Like, if you even did it, like, the hell to Hitler with your hand, you'll get arrested. You can't play around with that stuff. Those people out there are not, they're fully ashamed of that. And every year, I remember...
Because I know you said they have a Nazi party issue. Most of them are fully ashamed of that.
Yeah, like, most of them, like, they don't want nothing to do with that, and they try their best to make it right. You know, and I've seen, and I didn't believe it at first, but when I got to see with my own eyes, like, every year the Nazis come into the city and start a protest and the people physically push them outside of the freaking border, bro. Like, I was on a bus and just watching people just, like...
They standing on that.
They standing on, like, get out of here with that. Yeah. We don't believe in that.
With that foolishness.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is.
It is.
And that ignorance.
And But they literally pay the people. I didn't have to have health insurance. They helped me.
Wow.
I'm not a freaking German citizen. They gave me health care. My daughter don't got to pay for college. My daughter just went on a trip. She's 13 years old. Went on a trip to Austria for 2 weeks to learn how to ski.
Shout out to you.
It's just like, you can't sit here and tell me that we're like this.
America can't do the same thing.
We can't do the same thing. Help people. And I get it. Germany is the richest European country. Like, they got money. Like, but it's a lot of
deep out there.
Yeah, they real deep. But even their McDonald's, everything is farmed correctly. They have a vegan menu at McDonald's for the last 4 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on where why are we doing this? And I don't want to make this a political thing. I just want to understand, why aren't things being adjusted for the people more, you know? And that's aside from my DJ career, but that's my experience with being in Germany that I learned. And that's why when I came back home, when I ended up back on my mother's couch, which when I was living in Germany, I had an apartment with a guy who and I thought was my friend, and he wasn't my friend. You know, and I realized this because my daughter's mom, who's from Germany, I met her in Berlin. She's a clothing designer, and she used to design clothes for me and stuff, like custom stuff, and she made me a hoodie. And she was out and about, and she saw my roommate wearing my clothes. And she was like, yo, why is he wearing... She walked up to him like, why are you wearing this hoodie? I designed this hoodie. Like, I didn't think he was going to care. Like, I was like, yeah. And she called me like, yo, you want me to go grab your stuff? Because this dude is like... And me being like... I was like, nah, he cool, da-da-da. And then I go back home, and he never paid the rent. I was sending the rent money. He disappeared. They took all of my stuff, my high school diploma, my clothes. I had sneaker collection out of this world, bro. This is when I stopped being a sneakerhead. Because out there's a store called Soulbox, and they had like all the exclusive dunks and everything. So I had a lot of stuff that I lost. But most importantly, the only thing that I'm really mad about is my high school diploma is gone. I mean, that was in there.
So who took it? Like the people who evicted you?
Yeah. So when you don't pay your bills, the German government comes in and takes confiscation stuff.
You couldn't even get it back?
No, there's no way you get it back. It's just how they do you. But
even if you pay, like,
it don't matter. Like, his name was on the lease. I wasn't on the lease. So there was that. I lost everything. And then let me tell you the whole transition of that trip. So my last trip out of Germany before I lost everything, I flew into Madrid, Spain to DJ. and I was tired. It was early in the morning, and I was falling asleep on the train, and some lady leaned on me. I was like, oh, she must really like me, like, originally. But she was setting me up. This dude came behind, put his hand in my pocket to take my passport. I caught him though.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, what are you doing? When I caught him, he still grabbed the wallet and he ran off the train. The doors open. One dude took my luggage, ran the other way. I had my backpack on still, luckily. I chased after him. I like slammed him. His mans, they was handing out my money and shit. I was like, yo, all y'all give me my fucking money right now. And I think they didn't think I was American, so they was like, oh shit, this dude was talking English. So they gave me all my shit back.
Oh wow.
But I got my luggage when my clothes was gone. Damn. So that's gone.
Yeah.
I go back to Germany, all my stuff's gone. So I have nothing but my backpack. And I fly back. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic.
Now you all good.
I fly back to Rochester.
Yeah.
I DJ on a boat cruise for a month, and then I fly back to Rochester, and I was on my mom's couch, and that was reality. But I can sit here and tell you that it's one of the best things that ever happened to me too.
How old were you at this time when you were on your mom's couch?
Probably 25, 26. Sky Bear wasn't born yet, so it was like I was like 26, 25. And when that happened, I met.
So you're 25, 26, and it's 2011.
Yeah, mind you, when I moved back to Rochester, I had no name in Rochester. Mind you,
all your connections was in New York City.
Oh yeah, I left the day after high school, so people knew me, but from MySpace, they'd be like, oh, DJ Easy from Rochester, but you live in Europe. You're the European guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, so shout out to my boy DJ Jester, and shout out to Oz. Oz and Jester were on East Avenue doing their thing over here. Like there was at this time, 2009, 10. East Avenue was nothing to mess with, bro. They had like 8, 9 nightclubs. Like there's a lot of nightclubs down there. Like people were going from Buffalo to come to party here. Like, and Jester helped me out, gave me some gigs with him, split his night with me. Oz got me some spots, so I ended up with a little career in Rochester. Like I was like, okay, cool. And then I ended up on DKX because of Nickelfields.
Because of who?
Nickelfields is an artist from Rochester that lives in Los Angeles now. It's one of my boys. He's one of the he started one of the best recording studios ever here for hip hop music in Rochester. He's done a lot for people's careers.
What was the name of it?
Icons. He worked with
Icon Studio?
Yeah, he worked with a producer named Midnight.
Okay.
Midnight's a dope producer too. Like so, they were doing all of this stuff back then. But Nick was on the radio at the time as a host, and he brought me on the radio. But now Nick is in LA, and Nick is writing like movie scores and shit. Like he's out of here. You know what I'm saying? I just talked to Nick yesterday. Nick sent me some beats. But
so they helped you get back up on.
He helped me get on my feet out here. They didn't know my situation though. They just thought I was just, and I was still doing the one hand wash, the other stuff that I learned in Europe, which is like, yo, you book me here, I'll book you there. So I came to Rochester like talking to DJs, walking up to them like, yo, you want to play in Germany? And they're like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You trying to steal my gigs? No, like everybody in New York is like, yeah, you know. So I told Jester like, yo, you help me out, I'll help you out. Jester came to Germany with me. You know what I'm saying? We flew out there, we played Poland, played Germany, left the country, you know what I'm saying? And we became like best friends. And because of him, I ended up meeting some guys from Vegas, and that's how I ended up with a Vegas career. Because if I never would have ended up back here, that would never happen.
Yeah. Now, real quick, DJ E, just because I want to make sure that people understand what it is that you do. So you, and I just want to break this down, so forgive me. So you were, in your mind, you had made it. Man, I'm in Germany, I'm living out here, things is going good.
I was getting by, yeah, but I wasn't satisfied.
Okay,
I was producing music out there too.
But it's like I got my foot in the door. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm
and I was like, I'm never moving back to America.
Exactly. So you made it in a way.
Yeah.
So then after, you know, your and I don't know if you ever reconciled with your ex-roommate, but after it turned out that he was a scumbag.
Yeah, he hit me up like years later, like nothing happened, and I was like, bro, are you freaking crazy?
Yeah.
Like,
So we found out that he wasn't a good person.
Yeah.
What is it? So now you got to come back and, you know, because I had a similar experience. You know what I'm saying? Being
on your couch.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know.
Mom's couch is the ultimate beginning to end. Beginning of the beginning of the end of the beginning. That's what I call it.
Sorry, I gotta look into that camera.
Yeah.
Because I need people to.
That's the beginning.
When you on that couch,
yeah,
you find out exactly what you made of.
exactly.
But anyways, Ease, with that being said, so now you back on mom's couch.
Yeah.
And how was it being back in a place that you was, I don't want to say dying, but you was happy to get away from? You out in Germany, you don't ever want to move back. You 25, 26 years old, you got all these experiences in the metropolitan city of New York City and in the mecca of European culture in Germany, and then bam, you back here in Rochester. After you do that, you fight. You was like, you know what, I got to figure something out. I still got these talent, I got the skills, and you seen the potential that was here in Rochester. And you really started to really, I don't necessarily know the year, but you was always on your grind. But what clicked in your head? Because 2010, 2011, you started putting it in their face. You was on people's asses. I mean, you know, for those of you who don't know, this man sitting to my left is at least has 15 Turntablist awards. Like this dude, like Wu-Tang said, ain't nothing to fuck with. Like, respectfully. So with that being stated, Ease, 2010, 2011, it's Grandmaster Dojo, Red Bull Champion, this, that, and the third. It's all these awards.
Well, Red Bull was way later.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Red Bull was like 15, 16. But anyways, Ease, all that to say this, I just had to, make sure that people understood. Now that you done got, so how did coming back to America, being on mom's couch, how did that essentially push you to going and, really start whooping ass in the DJ world?
All right, so when I'm on my mom's couch, I was really just trying to get in the club scene. So, and there's a lot of blockage. So the first thing I did was I tried to go to St. Paul area. St. Paul used to be Venue nightclub. Shout out to my boy Hugh, one of the owners. He's in LA. I see him all the time. Liquid nightclub. And there was another bar or something over there. I know in Venue used to be Chasers as well, but whatever. There was it was considered a strip of where black people went to party. This was St. Paul. And the more mixed crowd went to East Avenue. At the time, I wanted to play where my people was at, and I was like talking to everybody, and just doors getting closed in my face left and right. Like, you a youngin', we don't know you. Like, you been out of here. You play white clubs and stuff like that. Stick to that. Kind of like that.
And these people saying this to you, or people?
My own people saying this to me.
Please continue.
Yeah. So.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, this is another conversation. Yeah. And I ended up obviously going on to East Avenue. People like, yo, you need to meet this person. And then
time out, East Avenue is people who probably don't look like you.
Don't look like me at all. But my boy Oz is Turkish. Shout out to him. He's one of the first ones to believe me. But and then I met Jester, who's Italian. That's my guy. He's from Henrietta as well. But open arms, man. It wasn't like, oh, we'll help you. Like, it was like, the night I met Dave, he lost his voice. He just came from Miami. He couldn't talk on the mic. He's like, yo, I'm talking to him like, yo, I want to hook you up with some. He's like, yo, I can't talk. Can you get in the mic for me real quick? So I did that, and then we talked later. But it was one of those. But that was at Club 6, I believe it was 6 at the time. But yeah, so those doors got shut in my face, like left and right. What was the question again? One more time.
Essentially.
The battles. Okay.
Yeah.
So the way the battles started.
How did moving back here? How did that help you refocus and being, rock bottom?
Okay.
How did that help you pretty much kind of go and be like, you know what? I'm about to go and I'm about to be one of the nicest in the world at this.
So I was not thinking like that. I was just thinking like, how am I going to get money? And how am I going to get my mother's crib? I got to start getting gigs and I got to get out of here. Because my mom is waking up every morning at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm on the couch. And the dog is barking. And my sister got to go to school. And it's just like, dang, I'm too old for this. Pretty soon she's gonna start asking for rent. I gotta get out of here, like. So there's that, and I just started going out, like trying to meet people and doing what I did in Europe, which is just networking, just like meeting people. Everybody's like, yeah, man, this is more than enough space for everybody. Like, we got nights, So I went down to a few bars, and every time I went to a bar, I kept running into this dude. Shout out to my boy now. Shout out to Matt Kalaki. Matt Kalaki was rolling around with this dude, this other DJ, that wanted to battle me. And he kept saying, yo, so-and-so want to battle you. I'm like, yo, leave me alone. I'm trying to get bookies. But it was like, yo, he said he'll battle you for $500. And I'm like, bro, I don't want to battle I don't battle no more. He's like, $500. I was like, all right, set it up, whatever. We set it up. at the Bug Jar, and it was packed. And
The Bug Jar is a club?
Yeah, okay. The Bug Jars, like a lot of people showed up for the battle. They did a flyer, everything. And I was like, maybe I still got this battle shit in me. Because I haven't, at that time, this is 2011, right? 2010, 11, one of those. I think it was 2010, the battle was. The last time I battled before 2010 was 2004. And that was in New York City at it was the ITF finals, and I lost. I lost to DJ I Emerge, who ended up being the world champion anyway, like twice in a row. So shout out to, dude's a monster. Like, I had to battle him all the time, and he was one of those dudes you just hope didn't walk through the door. He'll wait last minute.
Because he was like that.
Yeah, so we'll all be like, yeah, he's not gonna be here today. And he'll show up. Like, it's like, damn, here we go. You know, he got routines. Like, he produced his own routines. He pressed his own vinyl. So he was ready. You know,
he's different.
He was different. He was ready. He was built for this. But after coming out of that school, I didn't know how much I learned. And like, so when it came to putting together the battle routines, I was in my mother's garage looking for vinyl. Because he said the first battle, he was like, all vinyl, no Serato. So I was like, all right, now I gotta go to my mom's house, go to my mom's garage, So I'm digging. I'm putting my records together. I went to the record store, bought some vinyl, and I put together a routine, and I destroyed his ass. It was the best out of 3. And then he was like, online, like, I got robbed. The judges were all for ease, I need a rematch. So he called double or nothing, right?
So now it's $1,000 on the line.
$1,000 on the line. He gets to pick the judges. And he wants to use Serato now.
You smash his ass.
This time we set it up on East Avenue at A Pub Live. So all the club goers, like the club I was at was Heat Nightclub. Heat Nightclub was upstairs. Downstairs was A Pub Live, which is like a live music venue. We did the battle in the live music but this is how gangster it was. I did it on the night I had to DJ at the club. So
I'm finna smoke you, and then I'm finna go rock this party.
So no, me and Jester were playing upstairs together, my boy Dave. And then we told the club, the battle's going on downstairs. The whole club went downstairs to the live venue.
Wow, okay.
Battled this nigga real quick, topped him up, I went back upstairs, whatever. But yeah, I beat his ass again, double or nothing. And he didn't have all my money, whatever.
He didn't have all your money?
He didn't have all the money, but I got the money. I got the money later because he did some stupid shit. He went to a club where everybody knows me, know he owe me money. And they called me while I was DJing around the corner. Like, yo, don't he owe you money? He over here throwing money in the air. He over here throwing money in the air. Don't he owe you money? Yeah. All right. Security put him in the back, circled him. I came over, like, yo, you got my money? Like, it was real gangster.
Sure.
But I love my city for that, man. Like, East Avenue always fucked with me. Like, but long story short, I ended up seeing online that there was a DJ battle in Miami for the Winter Music Conference. It's been going on forever. Winner gets a new mixer and bragging rights and all this other shit. I was like, you know what? Let me try this battle. And I went down there, I got second place. And then entered another battle, got second place. And I had all these routines because this dude called me out. So because he called me out when I was in Rochester, I started a DJ battle career.
And you didn't even want to do it in the first place.
So I'm forever thankful for that. I tell him that. I was like, bro.
Oh, you still see him?
No, last time I just saw him, I was like, yo, I would have never battled again. At least I tell his homies, like, I would have never battled again if he didn't call me out.
Damn.
Because I had all these routines.
So in a way, he did you a favor.
Huge. Like, bro, I was done.
Yeah.
I was like,
there's so many DJs here in Rochester, but he wanted to battle you specifically.
And I had DJs in my ear like, yo, nobody care about that battling crap. Don't make no money. Battling don't make no money. Battling don't make no money.
I wish y'all could see what this man pulled up outside and battling don't make no money.
Nah.
Continue, E. I ain't gonna put all your business out there.
Nah, you good. But yeah.
So you do drive a clean whip. I will compliment you on your taste.
Bro.
Yeah, but please continue.
That's grace of God. Thank you. But yeah, just like the battling thing, I got told a lot by a lot of my peers. A lot of my OGs like, yo, battling is not where it's at. But I'm like, I don't believe you. I don't believe that. Because I've literally seen, like, battling at that point shifted from the DMC technical scratching, all that crazy battle, to the Red Bull battles in 2012, which was based on party rocking.
Yep.
And I was like, I can do both. So if I make noise with this, the companies are gonna see me. And what's the biggest company? One of the biggest companies at the time was Red Bull. Red Bull had a paper plane competition. They was putting money into stupid stuff, bro. They had like, there was buku money, bro.
For sure.
The Red Bull battles, the DJs got North Faces with the Red Bull logo on it. When the finals was in Toronto, they was just doing whatever they wanted to, bro. Like if you even lost the battle, you got 20 racks or something crazy. Like people was getting like money for no reason in that because they had the money.
Yeah, they was just.
Yeah. Obviously, when I won, it wasn't like that. They wasn't giving that kind of money away no more. They wasn't giving us money at all.
For sure.
It was just like, oh, they figured it out. Like they don't really need money. But yeah, it snowballed into that. And then I started entering battle after battle after battle.
And I'm sorry, Ease, because you're real humble.
Yeah.
This man went on a tear. I'm talking 2011 to 2015, 16, 17. Untouchable. Please continue.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, it was.
Sorry, this
So
platform
2013,
all about giving people their flowers.
I appreciate it, bro. 2013, I won. 2013, I made it to the U.S. finals for. So the way the DMC went back then was, it still kind of go this way. You got to win a regional first, which means like, so they'll have a DMC regional in like D.C., L.A., New York City. You got to win one of those to make it to the U.S. finals. So I went to Miami. I got second place. Then I went to Atlanta. I won Atlanta in 2013. So 2013, I went to USA finals. I lost the U.S. finals. The next year, I went to Las Vegas, had one, the first one ever. I won the Las Vegas one, just before I moved to Vegas. I won the Vegas one, went to the U.S. finals again, lost. Next year, I won New Orleans. I flew to New Orleans at 10 o'clock at night, battled at 11:30.
Oh, God.
Was on the plane by 6 a.m. in the morning. Won New Orleans, went back to U.S. finals, 4th year straight, lost. Mind you, that's third place, no place, no place. The last year I lost, they robbed my Airbnb and stole my mixers, my laptops, 2 days before the battles. Had to put all my routines back together myself with my homie Color TV, and Tim Tones helped me too, from Rochester, Tim Tones. And that was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. I don't want to do this anymore. And then
That was like a real kick to the stomach.
Yeah, and 2016, I got an invite, because Red Bull was an invite only at that point. I got invited to Red Bull finals, which was in, you got to hand a video in, and they pick your video. They're like, yeah, East, you're going to go to the finals in Philadelphia. Judges are Jazzy Jeff, Z-Trip, da-da-da-da. This is a freaking big deal, bro. I get down to Philly. When we get down to Philly, they're like, oh, yeah, all you guys are going to Jazzy Jeff's house. I'm like, what? So they pick us up, all the DJs, and they drive us to Jeff's house. And we get to Jeff's house, and it's like a whole, like, the playlist retreat is going on there. So we didn't even know what the hell that was yet. And it was like Masego was there, Questlove. Like, all these artists were collaborating, and we're just there like, yo, this is dope. And then we go to the battle. I lose the battle. I don't even place. And then I figured it out. I was like, I know what I'm doing wrong. You know, I put together all these routines, and they were dope routines, but they didn't flow, and I was doing too much turntablist shit when I just needed a DJ, and splash turntablism in there for 15 minutes. You know, the next year I come back, I ended up winning. You know, so that's when I was like, all right. And then once I won the U.S. final, my career like.
You won the U.S. final 2017.
17. And then I went to the World Finals in 2018 because the World Finals was until 2018.
And you lost there?
I lost there. But I also learned how to win because 2016, I went to me and my boys used to go to the World Finals just like on some, we just going there to spectate, see what's going on. So we went to the Toronto one in 2013. My boy SK that I met in Germany won the World Championships in Africa. He represented Germany. He won in 2014, won the Worlds. 2015, I forgot what the World Championship was. In Japan. We went to Japan, just hanging out, went to the battles. Then we went to Chile for 2016, Puffy won that year. DJ Puffy from Barbados.
For sure.
One of the best DJs out right now. Shout out to Puffy. That's my guy, bro. But I was there for that, and that's when a light went off in my head when I saw Puffy battle. Puffy was the first black DJ to win, for one. For two, Puffy brought something to the stage that they never seen before. Yeah, everybody else was doing crazy turntablist stuff, da-da-da. Puffy was playing records. He was scratching a little bit. He was mixing a little bit. And you can tell he can use the mic, but you're not allowed to use the mic in the battle. He was screaming over the music. It was like energy, right? I was like, all right, I learned a lot from this brother. And stage presence, all of that. That was the first year Puffy ever even battled in his life, and he won the world championship. You know, he shut down the Caribbean, bro. That was when the live chat stuff started. They broke the internet, like the Facebook crashed. Like it was the whole Caribbean was in there because he's from Barbados, but Trinidad, Jamaica, da da da. I was like, this dude figured it out. Like he knew how to play the music a certain way.
And he had the energy.
He had the energy, but he knew how to cover all the bases. And I kind of took a little bits and pieces from everybody that I saw over the years, knowledgeable wise, and brought it to my set, and that's what helped me stand out. Because I took what I knew, I took my style and added it to like a different way. But I dealt with some haters too from that shit though. Sure. Yeah, but that comes with it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but
now it's 2016, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
You are international ease.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are international ease. You are award-winning, you know, like, what is it, U.S.
I still
champion.
haven't won a DMC title yet, though.
Okay, excuse me. What is a DMC title?
So the DMC this stands for Disco Mix Club. That's the first. This is the biggest DJ competition in the world. Started in the early '80s.
Gotcha. So DMC is like the creme de la creme.
That's the name.
This
that
is the
was the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
Like the DJ, every major DJ that wanted to be a major DJ had to win this battle to be like DJ Cash Money won in '88. Like these dudes end up being DJs for like major artists and touring with major artists because they won a championship.
Yeah.
And their prices were through the roof.
But you haven't done that yet.
I haven't. But also the DMC battle shifted from that type of DJ to more of a straight technical DJ. Like it was just too much technicality for me. Like. But the reason why I was able to win finally was when COVID hit, they had it online. And I was like, all right, I'm going to try to do this. And I did the online battle, and I ended up winning the Supremacy, which is a big deal for me because I was just like, now I have a Red Bull, I have a DMC title. This is two major titles you need. If you say, even if you won a damn regional, people respect that shit. But I was like, I need a U.S. title. And I have a U.S. title on both. And then I did A-Track's battle for the Goldie Awards, and I won the World Championship. I was like, all right, I don't need to win anything else, you know. But then I got invited to the Caribbean for another battle, and I did that. So that was 5 racks. But my whole point is, entering the DJ competitions took me, it changed my price. Yep. It raised my price, and it
gave you a very strong, network, it seems. You just named off, networking,
and then
Puffy and everybody.
Puffy's a world champion. My boy SK is a world champion. Like, I know a lot of world champions. DJ Espinoza, DJ Trays is a U.S. champion. Like, I know some of the best DJs in the world from this era, but I also know a lot of OGs, you know. But that's just like, to be a part of that brotherhood,
different.
It's different. Yeah.
And it seems the DJ brotherhood, just on the outside looking in, especially like, you know, most of the great DJs, most of the, you know, like real great to legendary DJs, it seems like it's very much welcoming. It seems like y'all support each other a lot. You know, it seems like it's a lot of love within the DJ world as opposed to producers and artists and things of that nature. Yeah. Like,
because we know what it takes. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure the producers know the same thing. Like when Pharrell's in the room, when I saw RZA next to Paul, you can tell, like, yeah, we got one. Like, we know they know how much they had to go through to get one, man. Like, it's a hit it out the park. It's like, bro, it's sleepless nights.
Nah, I understand
it's
that.
Trenches.
So it's 2017, 2018. You on top of the world, like, in a sense. Like, you know, like, it's like, okay.
I lost the world championship, by the way.
Okay.
Because I represent U.S. in the World Championship. I lost the Red Bull World. I won the Nationals, but I went to the Worlds and represented America, which is like the Olympics of DJing. It's like,
and this is at DMC.
This is the Red Bull. World.
Oh, okay.
I never won a Red Bull World Championship. I won a Red Bull USA. I'm the best in America.
Yeah.
But
the World Championship.
The World Championship was another
DMC,
story.
you never won.
Never won the World DMC. I won the US DMC.
All right, so you don't won in the US, but you've never.
But I won the World Goldies. The Goldie Awards, which is A-Track. A-Track is a world championship. He started his own DJ battle. I won that.
Okay.
I won Rock Raiders championship.
DJ Rock Raider?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I won the Sprite championship. I won a few other companies. They call them the beverage and what do they call it? The burger and beverage battles. But yeah.
But you won them.
But I won them. But that Red Bull World Championship, I didn't. So mind you, I won the Nationals in November 2017. The World Championship wasn't until February 2018. So I had 3 months to get my head on straight, and I was just going through too much shit. And when I got out there, it's a different vibe. It was a different judge panel, different crowd. Like I knew how to play for America, but when you get to like Poland and shit, you gotta like.
Yeah, it's different.
Man, I used to DJ in Poland all the time. I just forgot like they love the old hip hop shit. So I played what I thought they would like, and I didn't do my research, and I didn't make it to the. I didn't win, but I did win the Goldie. I won the So after I lost the World Championship, I got in my rental car. I was driving from Poland to Germany, and I got a text message from one of my homies. Yo, congrats, bro. Congrats on your victory. I'm like, what are you talking about? I lost. He's like, nah, nigga. I'm in LA. You just won a revolt of what's it called? The Global DJ Award.
Sheesh.
Like, you just won a global you Turntablist of the Year. I'm like, what? And I know Young and May was there. Nipsey Hussle was there. Like, all the major artists was there. Pharrell was a host. Like, it was like a big deal. It was in Hollywood. Like, it was big. And I didn't go because I had the Red Bull battle, right?
For sure.
But I knew I was nominated. And I won Turntablist of the Year. And the categories was crazy. Like, DJ Khaled, Producer of the Year. Diplo, Producer of the Year. Open Format DJ of the Year, A-Track. Like, major names, bro. Like, so I'm like, this is a big deal, bro. I won a Global Spin Award. That's like the Grammys of DJing. Like, that's crazy. So I walked out of there with my head high, man. You know?
For sure. Ease, before we get into a little bit more of what's been going on recently, just because, like I said, I got more to say to really motivate people.
Yeah. My bad.
E, no. You all good, Ease. Thank you for telling your story.
Oh, that's cool.
You don't have to apologize. We appreciate you.
All right, cool.
So, Ease, you went from being overseas to having to come back and with the most humbling experience a man can go through, being on somebody's couch. And in the span of 6 or 7 short years, which probably felt like eternity, you grinded your way to being one of the best and nicest DJs in the world, regardless of however you look at it. You might not ever won a DMC, you might not have won a Worlds, but you won awards. I mean, you know, even the award show you just talked about that you won. And
I ended up in Las Vegas because of that, too.
Yeah, you ended up in Las
Vegas.
The
entertainment capital of the world.
Yeah, the entertainment capital of the world.
DJing the #1 pool party in the world. Yeah.
Well, what pool party is that?
That was Rehab Beach Club. That was... This pool party had a freaking TV show. It was like, when I got there, it was already established. Like, it was one of the first reality TV shows ever. So I ended up the home DJ there for 4 years.
God.
And that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
And that bounced off of Rochester. But yeah, go ahead.
So, Ease, just because, like I said, I do want you to drop some wisdom before we go any further. Ease, any advice you have just to anybody, a DJ or really anybody that's really going through a hard time, similar to what you was going through.
Yeah.
And like I said, 6 years, 7 years later, you on top in a way. What helped? Simple question. What helped you get through that?
Just knowing that first of all, having faith in God, knowing that God knows what's best for you. And when doors get closed in your face, it's because there's a better door. Like, there's another door. There's a door open somewhere. You just can get there. You can open 1,000 doors. You get to the 1,001 door, and that's the door, you know? Like, you just got to stay patient and trust God. Like, even me moving back here and being back in my hometown, like, I made peace with it because I knew it was right for me, and I know that I'm helping people, and I know that I'm helping myself too. But you always gotta believe that there's a door, you know, and you just gotta. That's why when I see people panic, like, oh, this is horrible, the worst thing could happen to me, da da da. A lot of things happen because God has something else for you, man. Like, there's always something else. Like, my car caught on fire before, man. I was like, dang. But I wasn't living right, you know what I'm saying? So I always look at, hey, God got something better for you, you know what I'm saying? And that happened. And if I had that car, probably wouldn't have left. I wouldn't have did a lot of stuff. I would have like, oh, I got my car, I ain't going nowhere. Like, everything's set up for you to make the next decision and help you with the last decision and how to decide, you know? So I watched a lot of Denzel Washington, bro. There's that too.
Got Denzel.
Denzel be dropping jewels.
Yeah, for sure.
If you really want to know like how to get through this, you watch people like Denzel, he not gonna lie to you, man. And a lot of this stuff is smoke and mirrors, like a lot of it. And you can really feel like everything's like crashing in, but it's not. It's just really just like setting you up for the next part.
Preparing you for what's next.
Preparing you for what's next. Yeah. So when I see people like give up, a lot of DJs that are quit DJing, man. Like, I'm married now, I got kids, I can't DJ no more. Of course you can DJ for more. Do you got to be in a big nightclub or in front of 1,000 people? No, you can DJ a wedding, family's parties, a backyard barbecue. You can DJ in your bedroom and post it on the internet. You don't have to quit because you're withholding yourself from something you love, and you also you cheating people out of information. You know?
For sure.
This whole life has been based off information. From the first shoe made, first watch made, somebody taught somebody to make the next better watch. You know what I'm saying? So.
For sure. E, so when did you move to Vegas? Because Vegas is something you speak about a lot.
Yeah, because it's really important to why I am the DJ I am today. Like, it's a huge difference. And that goes back to DJ Jester. DJ Jester is friends with DJ Hollywood, who goes by the name Woodrow now.
DJ Woodrow?
Yeah, so Hollywood used to come to Rochester to DJ, and Jester's like, used to DJ with him all the time, but Jester introduced me to him. He was like, yeah, he plays in Atlantic City, he plays Vegas. But he comes out here to play, you know, every once in a while. The owner used to fly him out here all the time. And he gave me an opportunity. He was like, yo, come down to Atlantic City, we'll see. No, actually, the first opportunity he gave me, he's like, yo, come to Vegas, da-da-da, you guys can rock out with me sometime, da-da-da. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm ambitious, so I was like, when? He was like, this weekend, if you want it. I was like, all right. I booked the flight, we went out there. Had one of the worst gigs of my life.
Really?
Yeah, it was a mixer, the Rain 57. I kept hitting the toggles, loading different songs. I was just like nervous. He was like, man, this dude sucks. Like, but he came back, saw me play another game. I was like, yo, he's actually better than I thought he was. And we started going down to Atlantic City when he was playing down there. At this time, the Pool After Dark, which is in Harrah's Casino, was the #1 nightclub in the country. And he was a resident there. So we used to go down there. And then one day he's just like, yo, just get on. I was like, oh, so I got on and started playing. And then he was like, yo, I'm going to put you down with the agency. The way he told me it was crazy, you know. He was just like, yo, you're on the website. And he's like, walked away. My bad. He walked away. But,
no, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, so that opportunity, he was in Vegas the whole time. So he made an opportunity for me in Vegas by throwing a DJ battle. He's like, yo, nobody in Vegas knows who you are, but if they saw you DJ, they'll be like, yo, you're dope, you know, but they don't know you. So he put me on his agency, and he ended up getting accounts at a bunch of casinos. And he's like, yo, I'm going to throw a DJ battle. Kill everybody. These Vegas DJs don't know who you are. Da, 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 da. Like, all right, cool.
Smash everybody.
I went out there. I won the battle, and the second one he did was at the Hard Rock, and I think the prize was some money and a residency. So I went out there and I crushed it, and I won the residency. And then he was like, yo, how soon can you move to Vegas? I was like, yesterday, you know, and I packed up my shit. Yo, this is how great God is. DJ Coco at the time, the DJ from Rochester, was playing on East Avenue, was already DJing on this agency already. He already had met Hollywood as well. He was looking for a roommate. So all lined up, I ended up moving in with him. And then I got the residency at the Hard Rock. And so Jester and DJ Hollywood, thank you so much. But I ended up having a residency at Body English Nightclub at the Hard Rock and Rehab Beach Club, which was the #1 beach club. The first time I was there, Diddy was actually hosting. He just dropped the pineapple. It was the day he dropped I didn't mean to bring up Diddy, but it was the day he dropped the pineapple Ciroc. That party was at that beach club. It was an insane party. I had nothing to do with it. I was there, but I wasn't with it. Everybody was there, but I was on stage chilling. Well, anyway.
So, real quick, before you go any further, explain what a residency is.
A residency is basically you're the main DJ. You're the house DJ, meaning like you're there every Saturday or once a month or whatever. But at Rehab Beach Club, I was there every Saturday, Sunday from March. I think pool season starts in May or April. No, March. In Vegas,
I was about to say in Vegas, it's the desert.
Yeah,
they probably could swim in February if they wanted.
Nah, it's cold. They got cold winters, bro.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, it's like it's cold. Yeah.
Sorry.
I think pool season starts in March.
Okay.
And then it ends in like October. So I had a full residency at 2 pools. That pool and Foxtel. So I would do one pool, go to another pool, and then at night I'm in a club.
So I was DJ all day.
I was busy.
So
bro.
you working for like what, 12 hours a day?
12 hours on a weekend. No, sometimes I did marathon sets where I played like 10 hours straight without repeating a song. That's how I became a beast, bro, because I was literally learning how to make, but I was playing house music, I was playing every kind of music you could think of. So my palette opened up to like big room, small room. Opening sets are different than the headliner set. You got to be an opening DJ is really harder than being a headliner DJ. Headliner just play all the hits. The opener got to hand the baton off without playing any big hits. You got to play like B and C records and get the crowd moving, you know?
Yeah.
And there's also situations I got put in where a major DJ comes that they're paying $1 million to be there and he sucks. And they're like, yo, we're pulling him off, you gotta get on. And I gotta save the crowd. So there's that aspect too. I learned all of this stuff from this Vegas style, casino style, big room DJing from DJ Jester and DJ Hollywood because that was a different world I wasn't a part of. When I was in Germany, I was playing straight hip hop. When I was on East Avenue, I was playing top 40, open format, which is like rock, hip hop, house. It's like everything. You gotta mix all the genres, you know what I'm saying? But when I got to Vegas, you gotta be able to just swing it, bro. You gotta be able to just like read the room. You gotta read how many people buying drinks, how many people are shifting this way, that way, da da da. Why are these people talking and not dancing? Like you gotta it's science, you know. So Vegas taught me that, you know.
Yeah. So Vegas really made you a monster.
It made me a monster, so I could play any kind of room.
Yeah. So now you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if somebody's like, yo, we got this EDM event, I'm like, I can take it. What we doing? Like I got the sets for it.
Yeah.
I can do it, you know. But I can play R&B party same way. It's all about just reading how many people are just shaking their drink, tapping their feet, da da da. It's like all that stuff going on. You a quarterback, you know?
For sure. Yeah. Nah, I got you. So, how you were in Vegas from when to when?
I was in Vegas from 2014 to 20. So, I moved out of Vegas officially in 2020, but I was also living in LA
at that time from
2018 to 2020. So I was back and forth. But yeah, from 2014 to 2020, I was in Vegas.
You was in Vegas. Now, before we get to 2020, because there's a very important question I want to ask about that.
Yeah.
So you out in Vegas, you doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? You a monster. EDM, you got it. Opener, you got it. You know, pool parties, you got it.
My name wasn't like big or nothing like that either.
But you doing it,
I was doing it,
you know what I'm saying? You holding it down. You know, you think things is working out.
Right.
So what was it like when, I guess, one random day in 2018, 2019, I don't necessarily, you have to tell the story about how it happened, but you get a call from Young M.A.
Yeah, so this goes back to Rochester again.
Jesus.
So Vegas leads to Rochester. I mean, Rochester leads to Vegas, Rochester leads to Young M.A. And this is because when I was in Rochester, when I did the battles, my boy James from Act Live Music, James used to throw the underground hip hop shows at the Dublin Underground, which was a venue on East Avenue Alexander area. He also was a part of putting together that first battle I did when I made at the Bug Jar. He was a part of that. James ended up getting a job working with Duck Down Records in New York City. Moving down to New York, working with Duck Down. Duck Down Management manages Young M.A. Young M.A.'s DJ disappears right before a tour with T Grizzly and 21 Savage.
21 Savage, yep.
And
that tour was 2017? 16?
2017, 16, maybe 16.
Yeah.
It was actually today.
Because it may popped off in like 15,
It was actually
16.
exactly, I want to say exactly 7 years ago today or yesterday.
Wow.
I was on tour. The first tour was like right now.
7 years ago.
Exactly. Yeah. So James hits me. Yo, bro, you busy? Like, what is your schedule for next week? Like, we can't find her DJ. Like, can you fly into Houston tomorrow? I was like, actually, I had a week off. Yeah, I could do it, but this is where I almost made the biggest mistake because James called me, and I was scared to be a DJ for an artist again.
Why? Because
I connected it with, if he's not working, I'm not working. Remember the SHAQFU thing?
Yeah.
Like, when SHAQFU wasn't working, I had to go find a job. And I was like, I don't want to do that again. My daughter's mom's like, snap out of it. What are you talking about? You DJ in Vegas. I'm like, oh, yeah. I had to remember that I put in so much work.
That now you got a little bit, you got options now.
I got options now. And that's where I learned, yo, not only is this dope, I'm DJing for a platinum artist, I spoke this into existence. A week before he called me to ask me to be her DJ, I was at South by Southwest, and she was performing across the street from my hotel, and I was looking out the window like, damn, I wish I DJ for her. She was rapping over the Quiet Storm beat, the Mobb Deep beat, and she was killing it. I was like, damn, she's nice, man. I wish I DJ for her.
She's a monster.
Yeah, and a week later, James like, yo. I'm like, nah, this is crazy. And then I fly into Houston. I remember walking into the green room, and she's in there, and she's just staring at me like, oh, God, like, so this is her first tour ever. She's been doing spot dates. Ooh is out of here.
Yeah,
like,
2 or 3 times platinum.
She's like, so you know what you're doing? I was like, yeah. I DJ for artists before. I know what I'm doing. Like, she's like, all right. First show goes good. Second show was shaky. Third show's good. Then we just in there. She's like, yo, you really nice. Like, you really a DJ. Like, she's like, she never seen her DJ before was just on the mic and pressing buttons and shit, you know. So she saw me scratching, and she was like, okay, this dude really knows what he's doing, and that just snowballed into just years of touring with her. We traveled the world, went over to Europe, went to Berlin and performed. All my homies came out. She was like, yo, my boy Ease, my DJ Ease said he used to live here. And then you hear the crowd, they didn't know who I was, like a lot of them. So it was dope, because every country we went to with her, I already had the experience. So I could help, you know. But I also just like shut my mouth and let her have her, I play my role. But yeah, the Young M.A. thing, was also raising my price, but also taught me how much I learned on the road with SHAQFU, because her shows used to end at like 11, 12. So every city we went to, if I knew somebody there, I'll set it up early, like, yo, give me an after party, so I could double dip.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so
being about your money,
you gotta hustle. So M.A., we used to get done with shows, and she'd be like, yo, Ease, we about to go chill. What you about to do? I'm like, I got a DJ. She like, you DJing? I'm like, yeah. She was like, all right. She saw that.
His money.
I'm hustling, yeah. So.
No, that's what's up. Ease, actually, I want to ask you a question about Young M.A.
Yeah, of course.
I've always said this, and this is just a personal opinion of mine. When we talk about people who have really just overcome the odds in this rap thing, I've always pointed to her.
Right.
She is she's a woman. She's gay. And, you know, and she's lyrical, very lyrical. And she came out with her lyricism, Young M.A. did, that is, at a time where, you know, lyricism wasn't necessarily the thing. You know, it's kind of like the SoundCloud era, where a lot of the artists that came out of that era, you know, lyrics wasn't really the thing. Can you talk about just Young M.A.'s importance to hip hop, just within, like, you know, in like recent memory, and just what makes her just different?
She has her own lane. She created her own lane. And what's dope about her is she just really doesn't listen to other people. That's why she don't do a lot of features. You know, like people be hitting me up like, "Yo, can I do a record with Young M.A.?" Like I'm like, bro.
She don't do a lot of features, and she don't have a lot of features on her music.
Bro, she got records with people that never seen light of day that you be like, what? She got a record with Chris Brown that never came out. You know what I'm saying? Like she just like, she like that. She like, hey, if it don't fit what I want to do, I'm not doing it. And that's how I am as a DJ. And that's why I feel like there's that respect. But most importantly, the way she approaches her music is really like, you can tell she looks at herself from the outside. Like, if I didn't know me, would I like this? Because she really go hard with that shit, bro. Like, I've never seen it from it. And she's independent. She don't have a record deal.
Don't have a record deal, never ever signed. Yeah.
I went to Google with her in Silicon Valley. I went to YouTube with her. And I sat down in meetings with her. And I saw how she moved and how her team moves. And it goes to show that she's a part of the new shift. That she's basically, she knows what she's doing. And she know that she could step away when she wanted to.
For sure.
That's why she did.
And you know another super dope thing about Young M.A. that I really respect about her? She did this independent thing, but this independent thing was frowned upon.
Exactly.
So you got to remember, her, Nipsey Hussle, and Young Dolph. Those are like the three that I really looked to during like the, the kind of like the mid of the 2010s. You know, Dolph and Nip kind of came out before, but I always looked at them three. They was independent and getting money out this independent thing and had platinum plaques and gold plaques when it was frowned upon because everybody wanted the huge label deal.
The first tour he was on, like certain record execs, I'm not gonna say names, but they was following her. They was trying to get her to sign.
Yeah, of course.
And she was like, these dudes, she was just laughing. Like,
Ooh was one of the biggest things in the world in like 2015, 2016.
Yeah, so people was trying to sign her. She was like, I'm not doing that. Like this. I got to see T. Remember the first day out, T Grizzly's first single tour. T Grizzly was on tour with us. I literally watched that single go from 3 people in the crowd knowing it to 4 to
LeBron.
To the end of the tour where it was the biggest record on the tour, like other than Ooh, you know. So I got to see how this whole organic thing works. Like it's really crazy, man. And RP to his manager because she was on the road with us too, the one that passed away a few years ago. Yeah. But T Grizzly was another one.
What's her name? Is her name Sadish?
She was there. I have a drop from him where he's like, "Yo, shout out to DJ Ease." She was standing right there, and she was the one that okayed him to do it for me because I was like, "Yo, can I get a drop?" And he looked at her like, "Yo, is it cool?" And she was like, "Yeah." Then he did it because he wasn't gonna do nothing unless she said it was okay.
Yeah, that's really.
She trusted her. He really trusted her. You know what I'm saying?
He had a beautiful tribute song to her too.
Yeah. Grizzly he's one of the
monster.
I literally didn't like. It's Detroit hip hop.
Acquired taste.
It's acquired taste, but I get it. I didn't get it in the beginning. Then the more I listen to it, like First Day Out sound so good to me right now compared to when I first heard it. It's just like it hit different. But back to M.A. M.A. is like, I think she sets the tone for a lot of what's going on with people coming out for what they believe in and stuff like that as far as artistry goes.
For sure. And the reason why I mentioned her sexuality and the fact of her being a woman earlier is just because, you know, those are things that people, and her being gay as well, those are things that people get discriminated against.
Yeah, and those are things that she don't even want to be known for.
Exactly.
So when we go do it, I remember one of the first mistakes I made when those first 2 shows I did with her was I was talking to the mic and I was like, "Yo, y'all ready for Young M.A.? Y'all ready for one of the best female artists out right now?"
She don't even like that.
And the management told me out there like, "Yo, she want to be known as one of the best MCs, period. Not the best female." And I was like, got it. Yeah. Because that's putting her in a box.
For sure.
And I learned that fast.
And no disrespect to Young M.A. and her team and her people. Only reason why I was mentioning that is just because, you know, that's something I admired about her.
No, it's really dope. But the way she thinks and the way she moves is really.
In a way, like I said, she just block out all the noise. And like I said, she just keep being dope. So
exactly. And
she came to my college one day.
Really?
Yeah, I got videos. She came to Oswego.
Oh,
she was performing in front of like maybe like 1,000 people at that. You know what I'm saying? It was outside, it was cold, but she came to Oswego.
That's
what's
up.
Matter of fact, I still got the poster at the house because I snatched it off the wall.
Oh, shoot, that's fire.
Sure.
That's fire. Yeah, she I love her, man. Like a real sister, you know what I'm saying? And
respect that.
Yeah, me and her, like one of the dopest things she did for me is It was her birthday. Well, her birthday, she looks out for other people more than she look out for herself. Her birthday is in like tomorrow.
Oh, I thought
tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. Yeah.
I thought her birthday was.
I spent her. We went on that tour. We went on that tour. It was her birthday, and we was in Texas. Mind you, we did Houston, and we did Dallas or something, and then we had like went on some lake on a freaking yacht for her birthday. We had a cookout with her,
for sure.
And it was just dope. She was freestyling, and it was just like, yo, she hip hop. Like this is dope. But
she can rap her ass off.
A few years ago, she like, yo, Ease. She hit up Reem. Reem is like her right hand. Reem hit me up. Reem is my guy. I love Reem to death, bro. That's my brother. Reem hit me like, yo, Ease, we about to get on the jet. You coming? You about to go to DR? You want to go to DR? I was like, yeah.
Sure.
I don't got money to go to DR. He's like, bro, just fly to Atlanta. We got you. Now, mind you, we flew a PJ out there, a private jet. A private jet is like,
$28K, right?
I don't know how much a seat. It's like a lot of money per person, bro.
Yes, for sure.
She like paid for everything, bro. Like we got out there
on her birthday.
On her birthday, I got in the PJ. A few other homies, we had so much fun in the way. One of the homies in there, we like halfway to DR from Atlanta in the PJ, and he's like, bro, I think I lost my passport. We were like, what? We got off. He was in like Dominican Republic airport jail. He had to fly back.
Really?
He had to fly back.
Because you ain't got no passport, ain't got no way to verify.
He couldn't get in, so he had to fly a coach back to like Baltimore, get his shit. And the last day I had to leave early because I had a DJ, so I didn't stay. We stayed in a villa and it was dope, bro. Like it was fire. We did all the excursion stuff. Everybody ruined their sneakers because we wasn't prepared. Like I remember we had on like everybody had on Uptowns and we was walking through the mud, like we was doing dirt bike stuff, all this crazy, we was jumping in lagoons and shit, like with clothes on, like we was just wilding. Sure. But it was so funny because he had to go back, and then the day I was leaving, he came in the house like, I'm here, and they were like, the house was yelling, and I was like, yo, I gotta leave. I was like, yo, I'm so mad at you. But the crazy thing about DR is, it's real hood out there, but we stayed in like a dope mansion, and we had like she took care of everything. We had cooks, our own cooks and everything. And I remember I'm chilling outside on the water, like I look over and the cook is walking by with a machine gun. I'm like, what's going on? Oh yeah, we have to make sure we clear the area. Nobody is gonna mess with you. I'm like, oh shit.
She ain't playing no games.
They was cooking, they was killing shit, whatever. It was like, yeah, it was like DR was dope, man. But shout out to her. That's what I'm saying. She's very like. She cares for her people, bro. Like she looked out for us, and she didn't have to do that. So when she needed to take a break from music or whatever, I understood because I feel like that all the time. Yeah. But everybody can't do that. But she was like, I'm stepping away from this goofy shit, you know.
For sure, man. Definitely huge shout out to Young man. Hopefully, I hope to have you on. I got more to say one day.
Yeah.
Let me keep working. So it's like the years like 2018, 2019, or going into 2020. And you are on tours with DJs, and you have residencies. You are on concert tours. So many different things that you got going on, and it was like, man, it's been like a 10. Well, since like I said, you moved back here, it's just been like a 10, really like a 20, but like a 10-year grind of just constant work and just consistent putting everything into it. And now you got yourself in a spot where, okay, I'm out in LA, I'm out in Vegas, I can go places, I got freedom, you know what I'm saying, I got resources.
Right.
2020 rolls around and you the war winning, you know what I'm saying, like Battle DJ, you so many different things. 2020 comes and now it's COVID.
Yeah, so I remember where I was Young and May, it was the beginning of our tour. We was doing a U.S. tour for like a month. We had a bus and everything, and we did. And after this, we were supposed to do a festival tour out in Europe. We were supposed to do Rolling Loud Europe, Rolling Loud LA. Like we had hella festivals lined up for the summertime. It was like we was like about to like go crazy. I ain't gonna lie, I was a little tired because we just came back from Europe. I was like burnt out a little bit, so. We did Vancouver as the first show, then we did Seattle, and that's when COVID hit. And we like, yo, they saying this is some disease, They just shut down Vancouver. We just left from there. Like, all right, cool. We got one more show. We got another show in Poland. I meant Portland. This is the fourth show.
Portland, Oregon.
Portland. We do Portland, and then we leave Portland, and Portland shuts down. So we're on our way to LA. We're like, yo, I don't know if we're gonna make it to LA before they shut down. As soon as we get to LA, they shut down, and I'm like, yo, they say everybody gotta go home. I'm like, all right. So I live in LA, so I got off the bus in LA. I went home. Everybody had to fly home. Yeah, I went home, but I was happy. My daughter was waiting for me. Like, we lived together at the time.
So you said home is in LA.
Yeah, I was living in Los Angeles at the time, and I just went home, and I was like, oh, they're gonna shut the world down for a little few days, and probably gonna go back on tour. And that few days turned into like forever. And then we just like realized we didn't do shows for like another year and a half. And then those shows was like whatever, weird, just like everything was just weird after that. But I was actually really thankful for COVID. I hated that people died. And I'm not thankful for the disease or what the hurt that it caused. Because I caught COVID and I thought I was gonna fucking die. But to slow the world down, to appreciate the people around you. Yeah, the divorce rate went through the roof. Because a lot of people were together who shouldn't have been together and found out about who they partnered with. But I got to spend time with my daughter. I got to think about what I want to do next instead of just go.
For sure.
I'm not thankful for COVID. I'm thankful for the time I got to think. I actually started working out. Like that year, I gained the weight back, but when that hit, I started hiking every morning. I was on my push-ups. I was in the best shape of my life. I was spending more time with my daughter I ever spent because I didn't have to go to work. You know what I'm saying? The government helped me out a little bit. I was dealing with some stuff with the house. We got rid of the house situation, but I ended up moving to San Diego. San Diego cleared my brain even more because I was on the water every day. I was producing.
Southern California.
I was producing music again. Yeah, it never rained. It rains there, but it was 72 degrees every day. You know what I'm saying?
Just beautiful.
Just beautiful. People were nice. And my best friend from New York ended up moving over too. Like, so we ended up just like working on music, working on DJ shit together. Like, yo, what we gonna do? Yo, the world shut down. Let's set up a green room in the living room. We green roomed the whole living room. Started doing live streaming. Started doing Twitch. Started like DJing on it. Just like having fun, man. Just like, and then all these online battles started happening because of COVID. So I started entering the online stuff and experimenting with stuff, man. It's just like.
Now, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I just want to ask this. Were you at all worried about your career? Because, you know, like you said, a couple days turned into a year and a half, and, you know, your career is essential to being in clubs and parties and venues and concerts and things of that nature.
So there's that.
Yeah, were you ever worried about it?
But I wasn't as worried because at that time, we skipped over this, but I was on radio. I was doing radio in Rochester for like from 2015 probably. No, after I won Red Bull, WDKX made me official DJ.
Yeah.
And so I was making money from the radio still. And then I had income from Shaquille O'Neal's radio. And then Young and May got her own show on Apple Music. So we was doing Apple Music radio as well. So I had an Apple Music show, I had a Shaquille O'Neal show, and I had WDKX. So I wasn't completely panicking because I didn't have the club money coming in. So,
yeah,
but
you had some other streams.
And then I had, obviously, the government was helping me out a little bit because obviously they was giving people money in California that was struggling because California rent was through the roof. You couldn't survive. Like, it's not possible to survive off of not making income in California. It's impossible. And there was a lot of, what was crazy to me during that is like there was a lot of landlords that still wanted their money.
They wasn't playing.
Knowing that the country shut down, like what am I supposed to do?
Nah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Nah, they wasn't playing at all.
They wasn't.
Yeah, they wanted their bread.
Yeah, but that's a government problem, not a us problem. What do you want me to do? How many banks I gotta look at? Like, what are we doing? Okay.
I feel you. So,
Yeah,
Ease, because like I said, I know we coming up on time.
Yeah.
You tour, or you have a very good, I ain't gonna say you tour, you have a very good relationship with one of my favorite DJs. I mean, you're in that category as well. I would definitely say you're definitely one of my favorite DJs. But you know DJ Paul.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
That's crazy to me.
You know, for those of you guys who don't know DJ Paul is one of the founding members of the legendary 3-6 Mafia. He is the younger brother, I believe, of Lord Infamous. Pretty much I ain't gonna say the inventor, but the master of the triplet flow. DJ Paul, first 36 Mafia, they won an Oscar. You can Google this guy. There's a lot.
King of Memphis.
Yeah, King of Memphis. Yeah, well,
DJ Paul, as they call him.
Yes, as they call him.
Yeah.
So you know DJ Paul.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah.
as I said before, he's one of my favorite DJs, just and producers and just everything. You know what I'm
Same.
saying? Pray to God I can get him on. I got more to say one day. But with DJ Paul, because I feel like oftentimes the North, a lot of hip hop purists from up here have a really hard time appreciating, a lot of the real Southern pioneers and like four founders in the South, and I consider Paul definitely one of those people. Can you talk about just his impact, his legacy, and what your experience, how he's helped you as far as your experiences, as far as being a DJ?
Well, Paul confirmed a lot for me that obviously he told me I was dope. He messed with me, but he also put me in a studio with him. And I'm a DJ that produces too. I produce music.
Yeah.
And I always like produce stuff and then like I'll just say this for myself or for the homies. But Paul is somebody that put music out like on a regular. And one thing I learned was the art of collaboration, man, is never ending for him. And he called me to the studio. He's like, yo, you do cuts in this song. He put me on I got a record with him. I'm on a record with him and Yellow Wolf. And it's official. It says DJ Ease, DJ Paul.
DJ, yeah.
Yeah, so
Wolf, rather. Yeah.
He believed in me and he didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? And for that alone, I'm like, this dude is a good person. But most importantly, man, he just really like genuinely loves music and wants to help the art of music like go further, and he loves what he's doing.
Yeah, he's an organ player, right?
That's what I heard. That's what you put me onto that one.
Oh, I did?
I actually didn't know that he played some, but I didn't know like to the level you was talking about.
Yeah, Paul, DJ Paul can read music, and he's an organ player. I mean, he learned how to, I think his father, if I'm not mistaken, was a musician from Memphis.
Yeah.
They were in a band. I forgot the name of the band. Sorry about that.
I know about that.
But yeah, he learned, he could read music, and he learned how to play the organ.
Yeah, Paul always tells me stories about Memphis, growing up in Memphis, like sharing information. Because I'll be like, yo, this beat is like my favorite beats. Like, how did you... You're like, man, I was doing this. Like, he's just like... And it's just like second nature to him, man, like making beats.
For sure.
But the dope part about touring with Paul is he's a DJ first.
Yeah. And see, that's a thing that people don't appreciate enough about him. Because even me, growing up, because I've been listening to 36 Mafia since I was like 6. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even before that, like Project Pat is one of my favorite rappers, if not my favorite rapper. And I've always associated Paul with being a producer first. But Paul is really, as you said, a DJ.
Yeah. Paul can come to me and be like, yo, this is the idea for the intro. I want you to scratch like, and I could just mimic it, and then he'll be like, add this beat on top of that, and we'll create an intro, and we got an intro, but because it's DJ talk.
Yeah.
And then the way the show goes, he set up his own show, and just handed it to me, and I just gotta make sure everything's on time, because it's all lined up for me to just like either slam the track, mix the track, but it's all DJ. It's a DJ show set list. The way he makes it flow, the BPMs, everything, the key.
Paul's just different.
Paul is different, and it's so much easier dealing with that because he's a DJ. And so when he says something to me, it's just like, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Automatically.
Automatically, yeah.
Last question about Paul. When it comes to DJ Paul, I don't necessarily know if there is a producer slash DJ slash, a producer rather. I'm speaking about him in a producer sense. I don't know if there's a producer that is more embraced and loved by the youth of hip hop today.
Yeah,
Than Paul. I mean, the list goes on. A$AP Ferg.
Right.
Well, Paul and Juicy. We'll say Paul and Juicy. I don't know.
Yeah, they collaborate a
lot. So rather it's A$AP Ferg. The Baby and Trippie Redd with their Death song. I love that beat, by the way. Drake on Scorpion, they had a song that Drake actually put Jay-Z on. I mean, the list goes on. DJ Paul has a bunch of songs.
He's the most sampled producer right now.
What do
last 5-6 years?
Yeah, exactly. What do you attribute to Paul's success and what is it? What do you attribute to DJ Paul's success and just his longevity, being somebody that was doing this back in like '88, doing mixtapes?
He's ahead of his time.
Yeah.
But most importantly, the bounce. Like, he mastered the bounce. He mastered what drum pattern catches the ear in trap music, crunk music, the way you stack chants, the way he just knows. And he was telling me, like, yeah, when I was producing a lot of the, like, first 3-6 shit with the engineer, they were like, how are you doing this shit? Because a lot of this stuff is out of key. Like, the bass line, but it's dark, but it'll capture your ear. Like, he has a really good ear, and I value that, man. I'm like, just like, but I really think that he understands what people like.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, obviously you got the ASAP Fergs, but even ASAP Rocky was doing, like, similar stuff at one point too.
I was just meaning what he produced.
Yeah. I mean, but the style the style people were going for, the trill crunk style. Like, obviously, Paul was working with all those people. Paul was, like, actually pointing a lot of people in that direction from the South, because he figured it out. But and he mastered style. Lord Infamous. I mean, Paul straight up told me, like, yo, I didn't want to rap. You know, but
that was Lord Infamous's thing.
Yeah. He's like, that's why I'm rapping first in most of all those songs too, because, like,
he said that in an interview. He was like, bro, I love producing. He was like, bro, I love producing. Go sit up. I can go walk down to my studio in my house, make the damn beat in my drawers, go and just walk. He said, every once in a while, I go walk out to my mailbox and go collect the royalty check. Yeah, he said that before.
He calls it mailbox money.
Mailbox money. Yeah,
that's exactly. A part of our show. He's like, yo, next, all these tracks I'm about to play next are what I call mailbox money. And that's all his hits, or hits that people made sampling him. He has relationships with a lot of producers. He talks to Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, Metro's supremely influenced by Memphis.
Yeah.
I mean, you hear it all in Metro's production.
Metro, but then even people gotta understand. There's Metro.
Yeah.
There's even, like, remember Lex Luger?
For sure.
Yeah, like,
Very
there's
much
a lot
inspired by them. Smoke Perp. Not Smoke Perp, Space Ghost Perp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Luga he did a whole mixtape with Juicy too. You know, like, so.
Yeah. Memphis, really, their sound, I think it's kind of being moved away from now. I mean, even though it's still prevalent, but the Memphis sound, I mean, ran hip hop from about 2000 and, like, 13, 14 to really about up until, like, the last, like, year or so.
They're in their third run.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I think they're in their third.
Memphis hip hop?
Yeah, it just keeps getting recycled. It just keeps coming back. It's like one of those things that just keeps coming back when it feels like it.
Yeah, and while we speaking about Memphis hip hop, I mean, you know, I definitely got to give a huge shout out to DJ Spanish Fly. He is essentially the inventor of the sound.
Yeah,
him, Squeaky, and Zerk. Spanish Fly was first. He was a what is it, like an electro DJ in Memphis during, like, I think, like, the late '80s. Like, into, like, the early 90s. Zerk came through and kind of helped kind of perfect the sound. Squeaky was also another one, but then Paul and Juicy took it to a whole nother level. Yeah. In my personal opinion, no disrespect to any of those previous names I mentioned, but
yeah, Paul got some like that. Paul with the 4-5 and all that shit. That's just dirty, but it's like, it's like, it's hard.
And even then, you know, I also salute, because, you know, Memphis, and no disrespect to Memphians. I think that's people from Memphis. I think you can call them that. No disrespect to people from Memphis, but, like, you know, it's a very, I mean, me and you spoke about this before. It's a rough city. You know, it has its moments, and you know, with Memphis, the thing that I love is just, like, with all the gangs and all the violence that happens in Memphis, I love that Paul embraced a lot of people in Memphis. Like, one of my favorite albums to ever come out of Memphis is Kingpin Skinny Pimp, King of the Players Ball.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites. Yeah, that and Skinny but Dangerous. Those are, like, my two. Return to the Players Ball is decent as well.
Right.
But anyways, even then, like, you know, Paul is on that album. He's on the song One Life to Live.
I don't think he ever stops working, bro.
Yeah, and the man don't sleep.
Yeah, he got a lot.
I mean, he did say he did a lot of cocaine.
Yeah, he's a lot of. Yeah.
Paul is hilarious.
Man. He used to say, like, man.
Yeah, that is how he talk. But nah, definitely huge shout out to DJ Paul for sure. Ease, as we wrap up, man, last question for you, Ease.
Oh, shout out to Paul. Forgot I'm on tour with Paul this month. So
you are?
Yeah, we go to Japan.
Okay. Well, please show him.
Yeah,
this.
so
I appreciate this.
April 25th through the end of, I think, April 24th through April 29th, I'll be in Japan with DJ Paul.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, great luck on that one, Ease.
Yeah.
But Ease, last question, just because, like I said, this is about, you know, I definitely want to make sure that, you know, you give out some game. Ease, if people are just hearing the brief part of your story, you know, the brief history of your story, one can only be inspired. by what you have done and what you have overcome.
Appreciate it,
by
man.
you being from a relatively medium-sized city and being international Ease, as they like to call you. Ease, any young DJ that's out there right now, rather he just got his first, young turntablist / DJ out there right now, rather he just got his first, decent DJing setup, or, he been working he's 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, been working for years trying to even be put in the same realm of success as you've had. What is your advice?
Practice. And there's 3 of them. 3 things. Practice, practice, and practice. I literally write that out to people in my inbox, like, yo, what do I do next? Make sure you always practice, man. And you can get to a point where you don't need to practice. Like me, Jeff don't practice. Like
Jeff.
Yeah, he said it straight out. I don't practice. I mean,
he been doing it for so long.
Yeah, exactly. When you done, it's like
I bet money he practiced religiously.
It's like walking to him now, like like walking up. Right? But if it feels like walking or climbing up the stairs or something like that, then you still practice. But if it feels like you're just walking, then just make sure you try to find your own style.
How does someone cultivate their own style?
Cultivate your own style by doing something that you think is dope that nobody else is trying to emulate. So I will say, if somebody told me something I didn't notice about myself, it was like, yo, when you be on stage with the hat backwards and and you doing this, and I was like, I don't even be noticing that. Bruh, nobody does that for you. Like, it's just the way you look, like swag, whatever they call it.
For sure.
But it's just have confidence in what you're doing. And that's a part of your style, your confidence. Things you think that work for you, so. And don't listen to people that have anything negative to say about what you're doing. Because I had so many people tell me to quit, Tell me to quit. Bro, why are you doing this? So like, why are you doing this? Why are you battling? No, it's so stupid. Why are you doing it? Like, people literally told me to give it up,
Gotcha, now for sure, Ease.
Yeah.
And Ease, actually, I'm sorry.
No, you good.
How have you maintained the integrity of being a DJ? Because one thing I hear a lot is that nowadays you could pay DJs to play certain music in the club. The integrity of being a DJ, from the couple DJs that I know and I started to talk to, they said that the integrity has just been impacted so much. Rather it's, like I said, people paying DJs. Technology. I've heard that now, an iPhone could damn near do a DJ quality mix.
Oh, the pure stuff?
Yeah, and then even then, even DJs just being underappreciated. Like, if you look at like a DJ who might not necessarily have a residency or be in a club or anything like that, somebody might ask him his price. He say 300, for 3 hours, and somebody try to give him 150. Like, how has
you gotta stand on business, man.
Yeah, and how has DJing? Do you feel like the art form has been devalued?
Yes, and that's because the amount of, it's like with rap music, like the amount of artists coming out now and the quality is dropping. So if you want to ask for a certain amount of money, you got to bring that type of price energy. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why DJs are being devalued is because all these DJs keep popping up that don't have that don't put the time in and don't prepare. Like I remember I used to play at a certain spot, and then I wanted to come back there, and they were like, yo, the owner never heard you DJ, he wants to hear you DJ. I'm like, but I already played there. He's like, yeah, but we had some bad experiences. So he doesn't trust anybody anymore. And that's because somebody came in that said, yeah, I can bring 300 kids from RIT and do this, and then the DJ gets up there and he's pressing play and then pressing stop and pressing the next song and not mixing the song together. And it's like, what the hell is this? And it's a quality drop because you're chasing numbers and stuff like that. So a lot of owners don't trust DJs. Like, there's an owner in town, I'm not going to say his name, that didn't trust me because he didn't know who I was. And I'm like telling him who I am, and I showed him who I am, and he still was like, yeah, but I just don't know if you know how to do this. And I'm like, what, bro? I played every fucking kind of venue you can name of, and I just sent you my credentials.
For sure.
And then he saw a flyer of me playing at a club in Tampa, and he's like, yo, you play at this club? I'm like, yeah, the owner loves me. He actually brings me out for a week every time, and he puts me in an apartment and everything.
Sheesh.
He's like, man, it's my favorite club. Yeah, you can play here. So because this other owner is okay with it, and it's just like you got to deal with that because of the quality drop. And I just sent this dude all my battle championships, sent them my professional flyers. I was a resident at USA. The Rehab Beach Club was USA Today's #1 hotel pool in the world.
For sure.
You know, DJ with Shaquille O'Neal.
I was going to ask you about that. I'm glad you mentioned it.
And worked for Shaquille O'Neal. And
that's your man too, right?
Yeah,
y'all tight. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like crazy to me that that dude still didn't. It took me playing at his favorite nightclub for him to be like, all right.
But you also understand because so many DJs don't do this thing correctly.
Exactly. And I get it why. I always try to find out why instead of getting mad.
For sure.
It's easy to get mad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy to get mad. Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, like you said, you got to make a business decision for a personal one. Sometimes
Exactly.
you have to try to figure it out.
Exactly.
For sure. Well, Ease, man, first off, Ease, let me just tell you thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I want to look into the camera and say, you know, I've been denied a lot, you know, and I really take this black culture, black music, I take it very seriously for the people who truly know me. I put a lot into this, lots of time in reading and research. And I've been denied, not responded to by rather as friends, homies, partners, whoever, and, you know, stars, entertainers, whoever. And I understand that my platform is fairly small, but I appreciate it because I've built this from the ground up. And with that being said, Ease, I appreciate you because, as I said before, I view you, to me, as like a celebrity.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And with you being as skilled as you are and what you're doing as professional, I thank you so much for coming through and offering up, you know, a lot of your time to me, especially your downtime. It means a whole hell of a lot, and I thank you so much for sharing your story and, you know, dropping a lot of wisdom, a lot of game, not only on myself, but on my viewers.
Well, I look at you as a brother, man, so
Thank you.
it's not even,
Appreciate
we
you,
had a
Ease.
really good conversation the other day, and I was like, this is like barbershop. Like,
Yeah.
I could do this.
I try, Ease. I try to be myself.
Always be yourself, bro.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little weird, a little quirky at times. You know, sometimes I could be socially awkward.
That's normal to me, bro.
Yeah, but you know, I really do.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I feel you, but
I like a lot of DJs are like that, you know. Like,
really, yeah.
when we was at Jeff's house one time for the Players Retreat, and Jeff said something that really stood out for me, and so Jeff has all these acres of land in his house in Delaware, and he put a big tent up, and he put us all in groups, and we created music, and then every group played their music, and Jay Dilla's mom was there listening to the music, and Jeff was like, he said, you know what? For once, we're not the weirdos. The people outside the tent are the weirdos. We're the normal ones in here. This is normal.
Yeah.
For all of us, you know what I'm saying? People call us socially awkward, standoffish, you know, and that's not true, man. It's just you gotta get what your air likes, man. You gotta get what your people, you know? That's all. That's all it is.
Got you. Well, nah, Ease.
I had to learn how to be social. I just want to put that out one more time.
Okay, no, go ahead.
I was very anti-social. My mom would tell you this. I didn't talk as a kid a lot. Yeah, I was very quiet. I stayed to myself. When I had to learn how to talk to people when I started working in casinos, because it's all about the owners.
Yep.
You're shaking hands. When you hand somebody your credit card, you hand it to them with 2 hands. I had to learn how to, like, so there's a whole etiquette of how to, like, react with people that you got to learn in the business world. But being yourself, man, don't ever say sorry for that. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
Got you, Ease. Ease. Anything, anywhere that they can find you, Ease? Anything
DJEase.com.
Okay.
All my platforms are on there. And I say DJEase.com because my Instagram is different than my Twitter, and that's not my fault. Twitter is at DJEase. Instagram is at DJEase_. And you can find all my platforms on there. My footage on YouTube as well. I got some new routines I'm working on, some big stuff I'm working on with other companies. I can't mention right now, but you know about that.
For sure. Keep
But
my lips closed. I ain't told nobody.
Yeah, it's all good, but it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm just very blessed, and I'm very blessed to be from Rochester, New York. Rochester has a lot to be proud of, whether you believe it or not. Like, everywhere I go, I remember when I went to California to DJ in 2012, and I was in San Francisco, and I did a show, and the kid was like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Rochester." He's like, "Oh, my dad's from Rochester. My dad owns a college out here." It was like, we have the most patents in the world. At one point, we did have the most patents in any city. Was supposed to be the second biggest metropolitan type style city as well. But people gotta understand, other than that, the talent here needs to come together and communicate. Communication is what I'm working to build in the city, is for us to communicate with each other. There's no foot traffic, therefore people don't see each other as much, therefore people don't communicate as much, you know? So if you go outside your house and you walk by 1,000 stores and you communicate different, you know, with different people and stuff like that. So that's what I realized I picked up from being in other cities. But yeah, that's it, man. Shout out to my man right here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, DJ.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm just really blessed, man. I'm really happy to be here.
For sure. And you know something, Ease? Take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
Take a lot of
man,
pride.
Cato.
In that, take a lot of pride in that, Ease, because
Yeah.
you know, your story and your grind and what you've been through hasn't been an easy road.
Right.
But you've stood tall above everything. And you know, definitely.
I'm just getting started, bro.
For sure.
This is the beginning for me.
Yeah.
You know?
And
So
y'all,
it's
trust me, bro. When he say he just getting started, he for real.
This is the beginning.
Yeah, for sure. Well, this is Ease. I'm Cato the Third, and as always, I got more to say.